back. So a win tonight could put them in first place depending on what Sedalia does in their game this evening as well. But Matt Troden, this is a big game tonight, isn't it? Now let me turn your mic on. There you go.
That's a little better. There you go. Yeah, it is always a big ball game to come to Chillicothe. A special half game back in the standings, like you mentioned. So this is a big one with not a lot of love lost between the towns and the teams, and
right.
so there's always a little on the line whether it's meaningful for the playoffs or not. But this is a big one, so pretty excited for it.
Still 2 more after this one, so there's still 3 games left with the Mudcats. So, again, that could go a long way in determining who wins the Mink League. Sedalia got a win over Chillicothe last night to even up the things. And, again, they were tied. They are tied right now, and the Mustangs are a half game back of both teams as the Mudcat fans trying to get the Mudcats into it, and they are.
Yeah,
here in Chillicothe.
Yeah, it's a little different than what you hear or see at St. Joe. It's just kind of it's different. They have the guy trying to hype it up here in Chillicothe, whereas in St. Joe, it's just kind of the atmosphere kind of has that electricity going through it. As we see last night, 4,600 people there, kind of getting these guys going on the way to that 11-0 win. But you know what? It's kind of exciting to see these games between St. Joe and Chillicothe at the back end of the schedule, where you get into it and you're like, you know what? It's going to be decided this week. It's not going to be decided, in early June because one team gets hot and sweeps a series. It's coming down here right to the wire.
Mustangs have a doubleheader with Ozark coming up this week. They have the doubleheader with Nevada, which this first game will start in the 10th inning with a 9-9 tie. So a lot of games left here this last week of the regular season, just over a week left. And the Mustangs will have to make up some ground here as they're just a half game back. But again, they've got a couple doubleheaders, so they've got a couple guys out lineup tonight. Lewis Mealy won't play tonight. He's going to have a day off, so a little bit different lineup for the Mustangs this evening. But with the depth that they have, again, they're able to do that and give guys rest so they can come back, whether that be tomorrow or the next day, whenever day that is. So the Mustangs and the Chillicothe Mudcats this evening. The Mudcats are 26-13. They're 22-12 in Mink League play. The Mustangs are 29-12, and they are 20-11 in Mink League play. So again, both teams very close, very even, and they played 3 close games so far. The Mustangs have won 2 of them, 2-1 and 4-2. They did lose 5-4 at home to Chillicothe in a game in which they led early and didn't get the win. Let's get a break and we'll come back to the starting lineups as we continue with Mustangs baseball right here on 680 KFPQ and the Mustangs Radio Network.
Service. Rockridge Steel offers steel from 1 inch to 1 truckload to contractors, farmers, and city folk too for home improvements. So when you need steel, see a winner. That's Dan Riley at Rockridge Steel in Elwood, Kansas. Rockridge Steel. Rock solid steel at rock bottom prices. Proud sponsor of the St. Joe Mustangs.
There's 4 things you love: your family, your home, the Mustangs, and your car. Eastridge Car Washes can't help with the first 3. But boy, can they help with your car. Eastridge Car Washes are St. Joe's premier drive-through washes, offering wash options to fit any budget. Free vats, hand dry, and the only washes in town to completely remove icky summer bugs. Show your car some love. Come to Eastridge Car Wash behind Firestone on Village Drive, next to the Highway Patrol on the North Belt. Proud to sponsor your St. Joe Mustangs.
As a Buchanan County Commissioner, Dan Hausman has worked with many great county employees. He's also helped hundreds of people in the county. He's led the way in helping reduce costs and has held the line on county taxes. Hundreds of thousands of dollars have been saved through better purchasing and working smarter. Economic development has always been a top priority. He's helped
361, 2 home runs, 17 RBI. He drove in a couple of runs 2 days ago against Branson with a couple of sacrifice flies. Here's the pitch. It is outside. 2 balls and a strike now to Anderson. Hard guy to strike out. He has a good eye, and surprisingly enough, he has 12 stolen bases this year. Wouldn't expect that from the catcher, but he's done it.
There's a lot of guys on this team that are sneaky fast, and it's all about good jumps too.
Well, how about 117 steals for this team? That's a lot. And Anderson hits one high in the air to center field. It's fairly deep to left center. Chasing it down, though, is the center fielder Pavlicka, and he will fly out. Orencio's going to stay put at first base. So Brady Anderson not able to get a productive out and get him over into scoring position. So now with 1 out, we may see Orencio on the move. But a fly out to center field for Brady Anderson. So 1 down here in the top of the first inning, just underway, no score. In both these two teams, not real offensive. The Mustangs average 6.2 runs a game, which again, that's fairly offensive, but they only hit 263 as a team. But you look out, they're almost the same. They hit 266, they average 5.8 runs per game. When they've played each other, they've been low-scoring affairs. 2-1, 4-2, both Mustang wins, and then a 5-4 loss for the Mustangs as they had a 2-0 lead in the game and could not hold it.
Kind of one of those matchups you expect. You're just going to have to grind it out.
Absolutely. Cassiola scored to bunt. It was a ball low for a 1-ball count to Davey Cassiola, the third baseman. Switch hitter batting left-handed. There goes Orencio. Swing and a miss by Cassiola. He stills the bag easily. Would have liked to maybe have him do that when Brady was at the plate to see if they could get him to third base with 1 out. But nonetheless, he does still second. He's in scoring position.
Saw him early in the year, kind of battling injuries. Showed up to the team a little late for that reason. Playing in right field. Not a lot of stolen bases. Didn't get on base a whole lot there at the start. But now you see him getting healthier. Playing center field tonight. He's getting on base consistently, stealing them. So
he's raised his average about 30 points the last week also, up to 236. Again, it's not a huge jump, but he was struggling for a while. He was still walking and getting hit and getting on base, but now he's starting to get some base hits like he did to start this game as Cassiola swings and misses. 1-ball, 2-strike count to the Mustang third baseman. Again, he bats switch. He's a switch hitter, so batting left-handed against the right-hander Pablo Ortiz. Now he pops one in the air down the left field line on a foul ground. They give chase. Over there is McPhail, and up against the wall. He can't quite make the grab. Good effort as he collided with the wall, but had to slow down a little bit so he didn't run into it full speed.
10 more feet over there. Yeah, probably runs in and makes that grab.
Yeah, you're right. He's kind of grabbing at his arm right now as he went up against it. I think he's just readjusting the sleeve that he's wearing, but a foul ball nonetheless. Stays 1-2 to Cassiola. Davey on the year hitting .235. No homers, 21 runs batted in so far this year. That's the one thing with Davey. The average isn't tremendous, but he's been able to find ways to drive runs in, whether that be a sac fly, a ground out, whatever it is. Doesn't need to get a base hit every time to drive in a run. Could use one here, though, with Orencio at second base. There's a pitch outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count from Ortiz to Cassiola.
I've never seen a 3-hole hitter like Davey Cassiola put down nearly as many bunts as he does, but he does it successfully, those drag bunts, and he gets on pretty successfully with that.
He's walked 24 times this year, too. He's got a good eye at the plate. Ortiz comes set. Looks back at second as he's going with the pitch. Now it's lined on the left field line, and it's going to drop for a base hit. That'll be fair to the left field line. Orencio will score easily, and Cassiola with a stand-up double as he goes opposite field. McPhail had trouble seeing that. Couldn't have got it anyway. The Mustangs take a 1-0 lead here in the top of the first inning on the 22nd RBI for Cassiola in the 4th double this season.
Another guy that's starting to put some good at-bats together over the last couple of weeks, and he's getting some hits, a couple 2-hit games in there, then comes up with a big double there, and you love the confidence for Coach Johnson. Even when he was slumping, continued to bat at third, played third base, started consistently, and it's obviously paying off now.
So Cassiola at second base with 1 out. Now they'll bring up Kyle Urich. He leads this team with 5 homers and 30 RBI. The power numbers are his by far. No one's really even that close. Cassiola second with those 22 RBI, and there's a pitch low from Ortiz. So a couple of good ABs here early in this game against Ortiz. Brady had one, flew out, and then even a 1-2 count, got it evened up at 2-2, and had that extra life with that ball down the left field line. Now Urich checks his swing. It's a 2-ball count to Kyle Urich. Urich in the DH spot tonight. He has not had a ton of success this summer against the Mudcats, though. He is just 3 for 11 with 5 strikeouts. Still hitting .300 so far this year. Again, 5 homers and 30 driven in. There's a fastball at the knees. It's a called strike. 1-ball, 2 strikes to count with 1 out. 1-0 St. Joseph, off to a good start. When they score first, Matt Tritt, the Mustangs are 23-4.
I like that stat.
When the opponent scores first, they're 6-8. So they're off to a good start tonight with scoring first here in this game on the road. Off-speed pitch popped him up on the infield on the right side. Coming over is the second baseman, Rook, and Devin Rook will make the catch for, or Dalton Rook, I should say, makes the catch for the Mudcats, since he's got a different jersey than everybody else on, but it's all right.
Talking about scoring first, getting that lead, and how big that is for momentum. And after the last 2 games against Branson, you expect to win those games. They're 2-32 now in the season.
Yeah.
But that does a lot for confidence. Then you come out here, you hit Chillicothe in the mouth for the first time. That's big just to carry that in after you had a rough week last week.
Sometimes as a pitcher, too, Logan Jasek, for instance, tonight will go on the hill. Here's an off-speed pitch to Bacon. He looks at it inside for ball 1. But that can give your pitcher a lot of confidence going out there. Sometimes when you're at home, and that's great with a big crowd and everything, but when you go out there and you've got a lead already, that gives you even more confidence. So Logan Jasek on the mound tonight. We'll talk more about him. Fastball at the knees. There's a called strike. 1 ball, 1 strike the count to Connor Bacon. He's been struggling a little bit at the plate lately. He's been slumping. The average now at 266. Excuse me, 193. Excuse me, I was looking at Cox, who's on deck. Bacon is going to step out and call time. But Connor now down to just 193. No homers, 4 RBI. He has had some success, though. He's knocked in a couple of runs. He's 2 for 6 against Chillicothe this year in a couple of starts.
It's be a big time to drop one in.
Base hit could score a run, and now he takes a good whack at that one and fouled it straight back, though. Just missed that one as it's 1 ball, 2 strikes now to Bacon. Bacon again plays at Boston College as they made the Sweet 16 of college baseball, made the Supers. Didn't play much as a true freshman. He and Jake Alou both were true freshmen, didn't play a ton. Obviously, that was a good team that got beat by Miami in the Super Regionals.
And talking with Johnny Coy, hitting coach, he said both BC guys, young guys, raw, but a lot of talent for Bacon. He's going to come into a pretty good player.
Off-speed, called strike number 3. Didn't like the call, kind of buckled his knees a little bit, but that will retire the side. Mustangs get 1 run on 2 hits. They leave 1. After half inning, the Mustangs have a 1-0 lead on the Chillicothe Mudcats as we continue with Mustangs baseball right here on 680 KFEQ and the Mustangs Radio Network.
Zero % interest for up to 48 months with qualifying credit on all Hustler, Wright, and Walker mowers. Yep, 0% interest for up to 48 months with qualified credit. Get to Midwest Central Outdoor and get the mower you've been dreaming about. Customer service is Midwest Central Outdoor's #1 priority. They have a highly skilled service center and stand behind all sales and service. Midwest Central Outdoor off Highway 71, just north of 129 and exit 53.
Oh, I've been driving that old pickup across all these 50 states, and the sure ain't seen saving like those energy rebates.
KCP&L, not good at country songs, great at saving you money. We have 18 ways to save you a little or a lot. Find the one that's right for you at kcpl.com/save.
Save money and energy with kcpl.com/save.
For nearly 100 years, the American Legion has been on the forefront of veterans affairs in America. From the authoring of the GI Bill, to creating thousands of jobs, to getting veterans the life-saving medical care they need, the American Legion is there for our veterans.
The American Legion gives veterans like me a place to belong. They help us veterans in all aspects of life, medical, financial, and even emotional.
To learn more, visit legion.org.
You're listening to St. Joseph Mustangs Baseball. Down the line and go! On 680 KFEQ.
With Matt Tritton, I'm Dave Riggert. Thanks for joining us from Schaefer Field in Chillicothe as we continue with Mustangs baseball. Let's take on the Chillicothe Mudcats. Mustangs win tonight. They could be in first place, depending on what Sedalia does in their game as well. The Mustangs a half game back of both Sedalia and Chillicothe in the Mink League North. Those 3 straight losses after the All-Star game really hurt the Mustangs and brought them back to the pack. And again, now they're a half game back right now, but got 2 wins the last 2 nights, 2 shutouts over Branson, and now they go on the road tonight. On the road this year, the Mustangs have not been great. They're 7-7 away from home. But again, they started the year 0-4 on the road. So they've been much better here of late, and they have beat Chillicothe here on the road 1 time. So let's see if they can do it for a second time, as they still have another chance to come back here on Tuesday when they play right back here in Chillicothe. 1-0 though. Mustangs get a run on 2 hits in that opening top of the first inning, and now Logan Jasek is on the mound, and he'll take some chances against Preston Pavlicka, who will lead things off. There's a called strike outside corner. Good start for a young man that has walked more than he struck out. We've said that too many times about too many of these Mustang pitchers. Logan Jasek, though, 2-0, 5.40 ERA in 28 1/3 innings. There's one low and away for a ball, 1 ball, 1 strike to count. So far this year in 28 1/3, He's given up 32 hits. He struck out just 10 and walked 16, so his whip is at 169, a little high. See if he can have the good command tonight. We've seen him at times be really, really effective. There's a chopper towards second. Alou has a nice high hop at his waist. He'll throw to Connor Bacon to retire Preston Pavlicka for the first out here in the bottom of inning number 1. We've seen him very good, Logan Jasek. It's just a matter of consistency right now for him.
Definitely. We've seen him go on the road and pitch well, too. He had that 4th of July start there at home. Got hit around a bit in that big stage. But we've seen him on the road quite a few times, including his opening start there at Clarinda, where he was very effective for about 7 innings. And so he shows those flashes if he can come out and be a very effective pitcher.
Still just a young kid. He's 20 years old. He's just wrapped up his sophomore year at Ohio University. He's an Omaha native. The right-hander from the windup. His first pitch, a fastball that just misses outside for ball number 1. Ryan McPhail, the left fielder, bats now. He bats right-handed. McPhail so far in the year is hitting .261, 3 home runs and 10 RBI. He plays at St. Edward's University in Austin, Texas. This one misses just low. 2 balls and no strikes to count. So Jasek now falls behind in the count after getting ahead of Pavlicka and getting him to ground out. See if he can come back from the 2-0 count. McPhail again bats right-handed, wiggles the bat. There's a called strike. Good showing there for Jasek to get that strike call, make it a 2-ball and 1 strike count. McPhail was a redshirt freshman this past year. He's 1 for 4 this summer against the Mustangs. He's played in just 1 game against St. Joseph. Now here's one line to right field and hit pretty well. Going back is Jeremiah Figueroa after he came in and he slipped and fell. Goes over his head. McPhail may go for 3. Round second base, and he will stand up at third base with a triple that goes over the head of Figueroa in right field. It was hit on a line. So when he came in, that kind of threw his timing off. He tried to scramble back, but he slipped, and it goes over his head all the way to the wall. And a triple for McPhail, and that'll be his first of the season.
That was one that was hit on the screws, but you kind of expect that catch to be made. It's one of those, take 3 steps back, you're there.
That step in just killed him, didn't it? And now one of their hottest hitters who has not been hot against the Mustangs is Ross McWhorter, who plays at Nichols State. There's a lot of Nichols State guys in the Mink League this year. Sedelia's got a couple, Nevada's got one, Chillicothe's got one. So a lot of Nichols State guys from the Bayou have come up from Louisiana. There's a called strike, so Jasek gets ahead, no balls and a strike. But McWhorter, he's hitting .351 now, but against the Mustangs, 0 for 11 in the 3 games. See if they can keep that going. Runner at third base and 1 out. And McWhorter pops it foul off to the left side out of play. So now it's 0-2. Could use a strikeout here. Again, the infield is back, so they're going to give up the run for the out this early in the game. But you'd love to keep it a 1-0 game. And in kind of the misplay and right by Figueroa that went for a triple.
If there's anybody you want to face in the situation, it's the guy obviously doesn't have a hit against you this year. So.
And the guy that strikes out quite a bit. 26 Ks, 5 in the 11 at-bats that he's had against the Mustangs. Left-hander digs in. Jasek's pitch is just outside, evidently. We've got a kind of a side angle right by the Mustangs dugout, so again, we can't really tell where they are on the plate, if they're in, out. It was right at the knees, but it must have been a little bit outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. They count to McWhorter, the first baseman. And he swings it left-handed, and this one misses low and away. 2-2 to count from Logan Jasek to McWhorter. He didn't play much this past year at Nichols State. He was a junior. He transferred from Galveston Junior College. Played just 13 games at .267 with 3 RBI. Here's Jasek's 2-2 pitch. Off speed, just missed the corner. Brady's framing that thing for a long, long time, too, and that gives us a sense over here that, boy, that must be really, really close, and Brady's not real happy with the calls either.
Home plate umpire just looked over the Mustangs dugout and gave the thumbs up, like, slightly up, but looks like it was right there.
Here's the fastball, line to left field for a base hit. It's a 1-hopper to Cox, and again, the Mustangs thought they had a strikeout, didn't get it, and McWhorter comes through with an RBI single left field, and that is his first hit against St. Joseph this year, his 25th run batted in overall this season for Chillicothe.
That's a tough break. You see 2 curveballs look like they cross right there. You don't get the call, and that happens.
So just like that, we reset 1-1 our score here in the first inning. Both teams with 2 base hits. McWhorter at first base with 1 out. And we saw this guy put on a show, stepping in the batter's box at the Home Run Derby a couple Thursdays ago, as he won it with 50 homers in the 3 rounds. He had the aluminum bat, and he was peppering the party deck that day. Now he lines one to short, but a diving stab by Evan McDonald, who put a first base, not in time. McWhorter is back easily, but hit well, but a great play by McDonald to his left, diving to make the catch.
Gotta love it. he's in the lineup. Obviously, he's batting, what, 430 in the season. The bat's there, but you only see a guy complemented with great defense out there, too. He's a Division I shortstop and a team leader, showing it right there.
His defense has really improved since we saw him a couple years ago with the Mustangs. It's just, he looks like a different shortstop this summer than what he did even last summer.
All around game 2, like, the guy's just confident. You can see it in his face.
Yeah, you're right. It shows. Here's Dalton Schumer, the shortstop for Chillicothe. It's a 1-1 tie here in the first inning. As Chillicothe got one right back. Pitch in the dirt gets stopped by Anderson now. McWhorter trying to advance, and it's going to be thrown high, and Alou can't make the catch. Boy, they could have had him in a rundown. Instead, Alou drops the ball, goes over his head. On that ball that got away from Anderson, McWhorter thought it was going to sneak a little bit farther away, so he broke towards second base, and he was a dead duck. Unfortunately, Alou can't make the catch.
And honestly, you've seen some wild pitches and pass balls plague the Mustangs this year. He did a great job knocking that down, threw it down just a little too tall for Alou.
They list him at 5'10", that's pretty generous, but it wasn't too high that he couldn't catch it. 1 ball, no strikes to count as that pitch was in the dirt. 2 down now here, and a line drive to left. That'll get down for a base hit. So they're hitting Logan pretty hard here in this first inning. Dalton Schumer has had a lot of success this summer against the Mustangs. He's hitting .277. Now he's 6 for 12 against St. Joseph pitching, as that's the 3rd base hit already here in this opening frame. McWhorter advances to second base. So now there's 2 on with 2 out. Nick Golly digs in, the senior to be at Missouri Western, teammate of Orencio Fishers. He's hitting .319. He was an all-star this year. If you want to guess where he's from, I'm betting most Missouri Western fans can guess where Nick Golly is from. The Pacific Northwest, because that's where Coach Verduzco gets a lot of his talent to come to Missouri Western. And if you want to guess a junior college, Mount Hood would be a good guess from up there, and that is where he is from.
Grant Fink as well?
Yep, absolutely. There's a chopper that hits the hand of Brady Anderson back behind the plate. It's a foul ball. 1 ball, 1 strike to count. A lot of Mount Hood guys at Missouri Western. It was interesting. We were at Kansas City today, and I saw a Mount Hood, Oregon just shirt. It wasn't community college, but it was a Mount Hood, Oregon shirt.
They're everywhere.
They are everywhere. Nick is from Vancouver, Washington. He went to Mount Hood Community College. 342 for the Griffins this past year. Had a great year. Looks at a pitch just outside for ball number 2. 2 balls and a strike to Golly. Golly again was an all-star this past year for the North. 342, 7 homers, 62 runs batted in for Missouri Western this past year. Helped them get to the regionals with Orencio. Those guys were the outfield for the most part, in center and left. Here's one hit deep to left field, and he pulls it, and it will be fair and hit the wall on 1 hop. 1 run's going to score, and they will hold Schumer at third base as the throw comes in a third baseman, Davey Cassiola, but Nick Golly turns on 1 and pounds it down the left field corner, and it will 1-hop the wall. Played pretty well by Cox not to allow that second run to score, but it's a 2-1 game now on the 4th hit here in the first inning for Chillicothe.
And there have been some balls hit very hard of Logan here, but then you look to the other side, some plays get made, maybe a curveball called for a strike, and this is a 1-0 Mustangs lead heading to the second. All of a sudden things break wrong, and now you're down 2-1.
So Schumer at third base, Golly at second. Now here's where he's got to minimize the damage. Keep this a 2-1 deficit is all, and the catcher Andrew Tanis will dig in. Tanis on the year is hitting .290, no homers and 21 RBI. He's played just 1 game against the Mustangs this year. He's 1 for 4 so far against St. Joseph pitching. See if Logan can get out of this. It's just a 2 runs allowed as a pitch high. Now it's a 2-ball count. So he falls behind. Already 22 pitches now here in the opening frame for Logan Jasek. Talking to Coach Johnson quickly before the game. Starters the last 2 games went 16 innings. Rest of the bullpen, so that's the one good thing tonight if you would have to go to it early. Tapper fouled down the third baseline, so he comes back with a ball in the strike zone that is fouled away to make it a 2-ball and 1 strike count. So again, that pitch count getting up there in the opening frame with Jasek at 23. Tanis, the 7-hole hitter, 2 runs in, already 4 hits allowed. They've all been hard hit balls. And again, you mentioned it could have been a called strike earlier. Ball probably could have been caught in right if Figaro doesn't slip or misplay that a little bit. And this could be a different game. Still just a 2-1 deficit. Let's see if he can keep it that way. In the dirt, Anderson can't find it. It's behind him, and now a run's going to score. A wild pitch scores a run. The Mustangs took advantage of that. A Branson pitching the last couple of days. And now a wild pitch gets in the dirt. Anderson can't stop it. Didn't know where it was. A great read by Schumer at third base, and he scores to make it a 3-1 Chillicothe lead.
And you drop down to block it, and the last one we saw stays right in front of him there. That one just popped up, hit a weird spot in the dirt, and couldn't find it.
And it didn't get that far away from him, but Schumer read that he had no clue where it was, so he was able to score easily, and Golly gets to third base. So now, see See if they can keep this a 3-1 game. It's in the dirt, good stop, and that's a walk. So now the eighth batter in the first inning will come to the plate for the Mudcats is now Blake Hardigree and Brady Anderson go out and talk to Logan Jasek. Jasek with his first walk so far here tonight. Dalton Rook will be the batter after the meeting at the mound as Blake Hardigree in his first year as the pitching coach for the Mustangs after being a bench coach a year ago. He was a catcher at Northwest Missouri State, and catchers make very good pitching coaches. You see that all the time when you look at a pitching coach's background. Likely, not all the time, but a lot of times it's going to be a catcher.
Those guys have worked with the odd creatures that are pitchers so much. You know what to say to them. You know how to work certain guys. I mean, it seems to be pretty fitting. If you're a pitcher or catcher, take that next step to being a pitching coach.
So the walk puts runners at the corners with 2 outs. Brady Anderson looks into the dugout to see how they want to play this if the runner does take off for second. The runner is Tanis, who is not really a threat to run. He's 0 for 4 on stolen base attempts. Chillicothe swiped 71 bags in 93 attempts. They do have good speed at third, and Nick Golly, though, pitch in the dirt. Logan having some control issues now here. He looked good early in the game, but now the longer this inning has gone, he's been really low in the dirt with a lot of things, and now Anderson comes out to set the defense. Comes out in front of home plate, gives the signs so the defense knows what they're going to do. Evan McDonald shields what he says to Jake Alou, so they're on the same page. This will be the 27th pitch of this opening frame from Logan Jasek. Dalton Rook, the second baseman, bats right-handed. He's hitting .238 this summer. There's a fastball that misses out. 2-0 the count. So he has fallen behind 4 of the last 5 batters after getting ahead of 2 of the first 3. 3-1, Chillicothe with the lead. They put an error on the scoreboard. There's been no error. The wild pitch isn't in there unless they gave a pass ball. And now Golly tries to steal home. The throw home from Jasek is going to be in time, and Brady Anderson applies the tag as Nick Golly tried to surprise them on the throw back to the mound. Logan Jasek saw it through back home, and they get out of it. Could have been another run, but the Mustangs down 3-1 after 1 complete inning. We'll come back to Schaefer Park in Chillicothe as we continue right here on 680 KFEQ and the Mustangs Radio Network.
Universal truths that every ATV owner knows. ATVs are awesome. Middlemen are not. Scooters Power Sports services the brands you love. Polaris, Can-Am, Yamaha, Kawasaki, and Honda. And when you bring it in for service, no middleman. You'll talk directly to a mechanic who will tell you what's wrong and the best way to fix it. They also carry new and used ATVs and side-by-sides and offer dealer financing at rates as low as 1.99%. Check them out online at scooterspowersports.com. Scooters Power Sports. Ride it like you can afford to fix it.
It's time to get your bogey, eagle, and birdie on the dance floor. Tee off at Duncan Hills Golf Course in Savannah, where you'll find 18 holes of magnificent greens. They offer more than just quality, affordable golf. Take advantage of tee times at a special price when you visit them online. Dust off those clubs, grab your family and a group of friends, and let the games begin. Make Duncan Hills Golf Course in Savannah your next golfing experience. Duncan Hills Golf, where a bad day at golf always beats a good day at work. DuncanHillsGC.com.
As a Buchanan County Commissioner, Dan Hausman has worked with many great county employees. He's also helped hundreds of people in the county. He's led the way in helping reduce costs and has held the line on county taxes. Hundreds of thousands of dollars have been saved through better purchasing and working smarter. Economic development has always been a top priority. He's helped create over 2,600 new jobs and brought in over $825 million in new investments in Buchanan County. Experience counts. Vote for Dan Hausman, Eastern District Commissioner.
I'm Dan Hausman. This message is paid for by the citizens for Dan Hausman. Donnie Miller, Treasurer.
The pitch. You're listening to St. Joe's Summer College Baseball Team.
Swinging a line drive, base hit center field.
On 680 KFEQ.
Cox will lead things off for the Mustangs here in the top of inning number 2. He looks at a first pitch curveball outside for ball number 1. Mustangs down 3-1 as we are in the top of the second inning as Mustangs took the 1-0 lead, and then Chillicothe able to put up 4 hits. They knock in 3 runs, and again they take a 3-1 lead as we go to the second. Cox ahead 2 balls and no strikes from Pablo Ortiz. Now a big swing and a miss. So all or nothing sometimes for Tyler. 266 average, 3 home runs, 15 driven in so far this summer. He's played in 30 games up to this point. There's a grounder towards short. Pretty good high hop of the chest to Schumer. He makes the play and throws to first baseman Ross McWhorter to retire Tyler Cox. 1 down to start the second. That'll bring up Evan McDonald, who is hitting .423. And that's a pretty big sample size of 19 games, 30 for 71 this year, a home run, 15 driven in. Again, put in perspective what he did the last 2 years with the Mustangs as he looks at a first pitch inside for ball 1. 2 years ago for St. Joe, playing 29 games, a 171 average, no homers, and 7 RBI. Last year, in 21 games, hit 208 as he goes ahead. Now there's a called strike. He hit 208 with no homers and 12 driven in, and this summer it's been a different Evan McDonald. And he's been good against Chillicothe. There's a good off-speed pitch by Pablo Ortiz. Way out in front of it was McDonald. He's now down to the count of ball and 2 strikes.
Just thinking double down the left field line on that one, and
he was.
Got fooled by the curveball.
Way out in front of it, so he's behind 1-2. Ortiz looks in, squints into the sun, gets the sign. Another curveball. This one's grounded to the left side. Charging as the shortstop Schumer makes a sidearm throw to get McDonald by a step. Didn't hit very hard, so he had to hustle, but did make the play. And now there's quickly 2 up, 2 down for the Mustangs here in the top of inning number 2. But again, we talked about it. This has kind of turned into Evan's team as well. You mentioned the confidence. Well, that's exuded into his leadership role on this team as well. He's been here now for a 3rd season, so he has been very vocal with most of his teammates.
And talking to him before the season, too, he knew coming in that there's a lot of new guys on this team, a lot of fresh faces, and young guys, and that he had to step into that role after he followed guys like the Corpers and so on during when he was such a young guy.
Jeremiah Figueroa is ahead 2 balls and no strikes as Figgy gets the start in right field here tonight, hitting just 170, a homer and 7 RBI. And last night's game, though, he went 0 for 1. He did score 2 runs. He got on base with an error. He also got on base, or had a couple sacrifices, so he did some good things last night. He drove in a couple runs and scored a couple runs without getting a base hit. Despite the 170 average, still struck out only 7 times, walked 7 times. He's been hit 3 times. There's a called strike, and now it's 2-1. Figgy normally a pretty good defensive right fielder as well, but just misplayed that one on the line drive back in the first. Fastball got jammed. He hit it over, almost caught over there as Dade Wheeler just about made a great one-hand catch in the dugout. It's a foul ball as he got jammed inside. Count is now 2-2 to Jeremiah Figueroa. 2 outs, nobody on base for the Mustangs. Down 3-1 here in the second. There's a curveball that, it hit the bottom of the bat. It hit the knob. He was on his way toward first, and then he's just like, golly, that hit the knob of the bat. That's going to be a foul ball.
Just bad luck.
Man.
Dropped that elbow in there quicker.
He stood there and took it, and he's ended up hitting the knob of the bat, so he's got to stay put. So that is a foul ball. Another 2-2 pitch from Pablo Ortiz. Fastball jammed and popped up on the infield. Ortiz going to come off the mound toward first and underhands it, and he will make the catch in the air to retire the Mustangs in order here in the second inning. We go to the bottom of the second. 3-1 Chillicothe as we continue with Mustangs baseball here on 680 KFEQ and the Mustangs Radio Network.
The redesigned Case IH Maxim Series tractors are now available at Durr Equipment in Savannah. These new tractors feature an improved cooling package and come equipped with fuel-efficient Tier 4 D-Final SCR-only technology. Other enhancements include a redesigned hood and roof, a longer wheelbase for improved turning radius, and 8 high-power LED lights. Optional continuously variable transmission technology is available on select models. For more information on Maxim Series tractors, visit Durr Equipment in Savannah.
As outdoorsmen, the guys at J&B Outdoors know your time is precious, and you'd rather be spending more of it in the woods or on the water. In addition to the retail store at the corner of Pickett and Leonard Road in St. Joseph, they now have a huge line of outdoor gear right at your fingertips. So shop online at www.jnboutdoors.com. It's packed full of firearms, shooting accessories, hunting gear, archery supplies, optics, apparel, and so much more. Most products can ship directly to your door. Visit the site, jnboutdoors.com.
I rescued Toast from a shelter in 2011. I love Toast because she's a lazy diva. Toast does whatever she wants, obviously. She's sleeping right now. She's so loving. She's so comforting. When I walked into the shelter, I knew right then that she was special.
Toast, Instagram star and shelter pet. Amazing adoption stories start in shelters. Start yours today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org to find a pet near you. Brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
You're listening to St. Joseph Mustangs Baseball. Down the line and go! On 680 KFEQ.
8-9-1 as Rook was at the plate when Nick Galley got caught trying to steal home, so he will lead things off here in the bottom of the second inning. He chops one wide of third base as he pulls it foul for a no ball and 1 strike count. 3-1 Chillicothe has the lead here in the bottom of inning number 2. They sent 7 to the plate in that first inning.
It was one of those where it could have been much worse, so you settled in after that first inning.
Could have been better, could have been worse.
Yeah.
You know?
Baseball's fickle.
It is, no question. There was an inch or 2 away from being no runs, and then all of a sudden it's a 3-run game, and you're right, it could have been more. There's a called strike, so it's 0-2, so he gets ahead of Dalton Rook after he was behind 2-0 when he was at the plate to end the first inning. Logan Jacek, we'll see if he can get to a rhythm here in this second inning. And now time has been called by Rook at the plate. Just wrapped up his sophomore year at William Jewell. So he was a teammate, not this past year, but 2 years ago, of Preston Felgate, now the bench coach for the Mustangs, who was hoping to play this summer, did last summer for St. Joseph, was outstanding, but he's been injured and just hasn't been able to get help.
I would have caught it if it would have come over.
As it ricocheted off the net. I never did notice the net up there. That is strange.
Yeah.
How they have that.
Like it shoots it right back at you.
It does. Thanks for warning me.
It's a bit of a hazard.
It is. That is interesting. They've got netting back behind the netting, so it can hit it and then go right back into the right back into the spectators. And now he did not check his swing. It'll be a swing and a miss. First strikeout for Logan Jacek as he tried to check it. They appealed down to first base. He said, "Yes, you did," and that'll be a strikeout again for Logan Jacek.
Batting ninth, the designated hitter from American River
Now it'll be
College,
Cade
number
Parker
1,
who will
Cade
dig in.
Parker.
He is the DH, young man from California. American River College out in California, was a redshirt freshman this past year. .250 average, a homer, and 9 RBI so far this summer. But he is a very high strikeout guy, 22 Ks and 80 at-bats. So that's probably why he's in the 9 hole right now. Batting right-handed, he checks his swing. It's down the third base line, going to drift into foul territory, and Cassiel will pick it up, so it's a no ball and 1 strike count. One good thing so far to the first 2 batters is Logan Jacek is getting ahead of hitters here in this inning. Getting through 28 pitches in that opening frame. Could use a quick inning here, especially with how hot it is. It's 91 degrees still here as we're in the second inning. Logan Jacek a long look as A. Anderson gives him the sign that he got from Blake Hardigree in the dugout. Here's the windup in the pitch. It's hit high in the air, not real deep to center. Rencio Fisher is playing center field tonight. He's got a beat on it, and he'll reach up with the brown mitt and make the catch, and that'll be the second out in the inning. So quickly 2 up, 2 down for the Mudcats here in the second.
You asked, Logan delivers.
There you go.
Of course, now you're back to the top of the lineup, so.
Well, Pavlik was out 4-3, so he's 0 for 1 so far in the game. Pavlik plays his college baseball at Grand Canyon University in Arizona. He is from Las Vegas. Was a freshman this past year. He was an all-star this year with the Mink League North. He's hitting .325, no homers and 3 RBI. There's a strike, so he starts each of the batters in this inning with a strike. That's a little different than what we saw in the opening frame when he got into some trouble. So much different when you start a batter 0-1 as opposed to 1-0. There's a liner up the middle, though, for a base hit. Every base hit, all 5 have been hit right on the screws. So a base hit with 2 outs, and it will not be a 1-2-3 inning. Now let's see if they can work around that 1-out single. As McPhail tripled over the head of Figueroa and right his last time up, he got it going. With 1 out, he tripled to right field as it was misplayed by Jeremiah Figueroa and right.
The left fielder, Ryan
McPhail, 261. He's now 2 for 5 against Mustang pitching. Has struck out a couple times, and he is also from Austin. Pretty known high school there, Westlake High School. Has generated a lot of athletes in Austin, Texas. And there goes the runner. The throw from Anderson is going to be a little bit low and not quite in time. Pavlik steals the bag, and for him, that's his 9th steal in 11 attempts. So now he is in scoring position. It was a called strike, so again, a first pitch strike to all 4 batters here in this inning. But Pavlik now is in scoring position. Jacek with just 9 pitches so far in the frame. McPhail at the plate. McWhorter, their hottest hitter, is on deck. Here's the pitch to the right-hander. It's inside. 1 ball, 1 strike the count. Logan this past year at Ohio made 21 appearances, 1 start. The 1 start he kind of joked about. He made the start against Ohio State. It didn't go real well. It wasn't. I think he was 4 runs in 4 innings, so it wasn't terrible. But here's a pitch that just misses high and away. But 21 appearances overall, so 20 out of the pen. He was 2-1 with a 4.68 ERA, 32 2/3 innings. Opponents only hit .217 against him this year. As again, you can kind of hear some chatter in the background. The Mustang coaching staff not real happy with the balls and strikes as the umpire saying that it's up. And from this vantage point, you can tell if it's up or not, and it really isn't.
A little bit of a tight strike zone so far.
Pitch was fouled back to even up the count, 2 balls, 2 strikes. And we can't tell side to side from where we're sitting. We can tell how high it is and how low it is. And if those are up, it's probably not the right call. So I guess as long as he's consistent, that's the main thing.
Yeah.
2-2 pitch, runner at second base with 2 outs now here in the second. Pavlica stays put, and it's a ground ball wide of third base and a foul. So he stays alive, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Again, McPhail has struck out quite a few times this year as well, 25 Ks and 92 at-bats. So he is very strikeout prone. These two teams about the same. They average a little over 6 strikeouts per game. McPhail again. Tonight he is playing in left field. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count with Pavlica. The leadoff, or the 2-out single, then a stolen base got him into scoring position. Jason twirls towards second base as Pavlica was acting like he was going to steal the bag, and he had a big lead. But Logan Jasek will turn and make sure he goes back.
2-2 count with the runner on second. This is one of those at-bats, too, that this becomes a quick inning or a big inning, kind of based on what happens here.
Runner doesn't go. Ground ball to the left side of the infield. McDonald has it. The throw is low, and Bacon cannot pick it. It's going to be an error by Evan McDonald, and the Mustangs will give up an unearned run here in the second inning as they fall behind 4-1. Evan has not made many errors this year, but a throwing error there as McPhail runs well, and Connor Bacon could not dig it out of the dirt. It's a 4-1 lead on the error by Evan McDonald. Logan did his job. Defense just didn't help him out.
That's one of those tough breaks, too. So it's a play you expect him to make. But in the first inning, dives to his left, makes a spectacular play on the line drive. It just breaks that way.
So 4-1 now, Chillicothe here in the second inning. Mustangs looked like they were going to have a quick inning here in the second. It's turned into at least 1 run. Ross McWhorter at the dish now. McWhorter singled and drove in a run his last time up. Singled and scored, 1 for 1 with an RBI and a run scored. First time up, he lined it opposite field to left, and again, borderline strike, which was called a ball. Thought he had a strikeout and didn't get it of McWhorter, then he came through with the RBI. There goes a runner. It's a hit-and-run attempt. He fouled it right off the plate, goes in front of the mound, but again, it hit the plate, so it'll be a foul ball. 4-1 Chillicothe. They've already got 5 hits so far in the game. Mustangs had both their hits early as Rencio Fisher led off with a base hit, and then Davey Cassiel, a 3-hole hitter, went opposite field, got a double down the left field line. McWhorter again digs back in, no balls and a strike. Logan again ahead in the count in this inning. He hasn't really been in danger of walking anybody. Now a foul tip goes back to the backstop, and he's ahead 0-2. 2 outs here in the frame, 4-1. They've got an unearned run here in this inning. Nick Banman is on deck. That's who caught the line drive back in the first. McDonald caught his line drive. Jasek once got it right here from the stretch. He fouls it back again. So Jasek could have been out of this inning with about 8-9 pitches. And it's up to 17 now and almost 50 through 2 innings.
And that's even one where you mentioned he's getting ahead, he's throwing strikes, he's doing everything you want to do. It's just kind of the opposite of last inning as far as just the pitch making he's doing.
Still ahead 0-2. Here's the pitch to McWhorter. Is high and outside. Tried to get him a chase. He did not. And McWhorter, a strikeout candidate as well. 26 Ks. Has walked 18 times, so has a pretty good eye as well. But he is hitting .351. Got his first base hit against the Mustangs. His last at-bat. He's now 1 for 12 this summer against St. Joseph pitching. This is Jasek's first appearance against Chillicothe, so they have not seen him. Ground ball to McDonald. They have a force at second, but it's going to be a throw to first base in time instead. 6-3 ground out to end the frame, but an unearned run for Chillicothe has them ahead 4-1 after 2 innings as we continue with Mustangs baseball right here on 680 KFPQ and the Mustangs Radio Network.
The TP game. And we're not talking like an Indian tent either.
Just a simple, straightforward, locally owned hardware store for hardworking folks who simply want to get in, get their supplies, and get on with their day. Brown Lumber Company at 5th and Beatty. Lumber? We have that.
As a Buchanan County Commissioner, Dan Hausman has worked with many great county employees. He's also helped hundreds of people in the county. He's led the way in helping reduce costs and has held the line on county taxes. Hundreds of thousands of dollars have been saved through better purchasing and working smarter. Economic development has always been a top priority. He's helped create over 2,600 new jobs and brought in over $825 million in new investments in Buchanan County. Experience counts. Vote for Dan Hausman, Eastern District Commissioner.
I'm Dan Hausman. This message is paid for by the citizens for Dan Hausman. Donnie Miller, Treasurer.
It's time to get your bogey, eagle, and birdie on the dance floor. Tee off at Duncan Hills Golf Course in Savannah, where you'll find 18 holes of magnificent greens. They offer more than just quality, affordable golf. Take advantage of tee times at a special price when you visit them online. Dust off those clubs, grab your family and a group of friends, and let the games begin. Make Duncan Hills Golf Course in Savannah your next golfing experience. Duncan Hills Golf, where a bad day at golf always beats a good day at work. DuncanHillsGC.com.
You're listening to the St. Joseph Mustangs, the Slice on 680 KFEQ.
Dave Rigger, Matt Tritton back in Chillicothe as we continue with Mustangs baseball. St. Joe's Collegiate Summer Baseball team trails 4-1 here in the top of the third. Jake Alou will lead things off. Looks at ball number 1. As it'll be 9-1-2 for St. Joseph. It'll be Alou and then Fisher and Anderson for Matt Johnson's bunch. Pablo Ortiz had a quick inning. Now Alou lifts one in the air to shallow right center field, and it will drop for a base hit. Jake Alou off the end of the bat gets one down. Leadoff single here in the third inning, and good for Jake. He's been struggling at the plate here recently. The average has dipped down to 211 as he has 1 for his last 12. No homers, 4 RBI, but a base hit there from Jake Alou, again from Boston College.
He had kind of hit a slump there in that July 4th weekend. Had a game where he struck out about 4 times. You could see it it's kind of in his head. But that's a big one there to kind of break out, get the team going here, and hopefully get his season back on track.
Rencio Fisher now digs in 1 for 1. A single down the third base line. They play in at the corners to see if he will try and bunt. Off speed is outside for ball number 1 to Rencio Fisher. He was first pitch swinging to start the game. He scored on the double by Davey Casiola his last time up.
Bainman played a little tighter to the third baseline this time than last time after Fisher roped that.
Looks like he's going to swing away, and this one's called a strike. He looks a little bit low. I think the strike zone
it's pretty small.
It's not very high, but it seems a little lower than it is higher, you know? Like they're calling them below the knees even right now. 1 ball, 1 strike the count. Rencio Fisher checks his swing. It is inside. He's ahead now. 2 balls and a strike. Oh, what a great year at Missouri Western this past year. He and Nick Golly at the top of that order hit .337, 6 homers, 47 RBIs, and scored 76 runs for the Griffs. When he got on base, he was a handful, like he is for the Mustangs this summer and last summer. Here's the pitch from Ortiz. It's lined to left. That's another base hit for Rencio Fisher. He's starting to find a little rhythm now these last couple of games. Hit a 2-hit game of the night. Got 1 more last night and has a 2-hit game here today. 2 on, nobody out for Mustangs here in the third.
You mentioned he's a handful. He gets on first base. He got speed on second base with Jake Alou, so the makings of a good inning here going for the Mustangs.
Especially with the guys you've got coming up, and Anderson, Casiola, Urick. So
big bats.
Absolutely. Big part of the order is the Mustangs have a chance here to get right back in the game. Not that they're out of it, lots of time left, but 4-1 the deficit right now here in the third. Matt just mentioned it, great speed on the base pass with Alou at second, Fisher at first. Anderson, there's a very slow off-speed pitch. Boy, that was like an ephus pitch almost. as it was way, and now going out to talk to him as Tanis, I'm not sure he expected that either. It was a ball high. It was a very slow breaking pitch.
That was closer to what I saw when I played slow pitch softball in Maryville.
Yeah.
Of course, I didn't hit those either.
I was going to say, you
didn't matter.
swung and missed at those two, didn't
yeah,
you?
yes, I did. A lot of pop-ups.
Anderson ahead 1-0. There's a fastball is fouled. He was late on that fastball. Fouled it down the left field line, out of play. It's a 1 ball, 1 strike count to Anderson. Brady played in 8 games 2 years ago for the Mustangs. Did not play last summer with them. But again, Coach Johnson, I'm trying to think of the story now. Did he play for his dad or with his dad? I think he played for his dad
for him, yep.
At Valley City State, and he's still coaching there. There's another slow off-speed pitch. It's a called strike. Coach Johnson, I look down at him. He goes, wow. So he does. He told his guys to be patient because this strike zone is interesting.
Yep.
And it's a called strike there. Now Brady's down 1 ball, 2 strikes. Runners at first and second. Nobody out. Anderson looks at a pitch. Again, that was called a strike earlier, but it's going to be a little bit low, evidently, for ball number 2. Brady will take that. He's 0 for 1 so far in the game with a fly out to center field. The .361 average this year. He is 3 for 8 this summer against Chillicothe pitching. Curveball grounded to the first baseman, and McWhorter's going to throw to second base. It's dropped, and Laurencio Fisher is safe. So the bases are now loaded. McWhorter kind of guided that ball. He didn't really let that thing go, kind of guided it toward first base, and it was slower than normal, and Laurencio was bearing in on Schumer, and he drops the baseball. Probably still should have been caught, but that'll be an error now, and the Mustangs with the bases loaded with nobody out.
That's one of those plays if Laurencio's, hey, I'm getting doubled up, I'm going to loaf down to second base. Easy play to get the force, but since he's bearing down on him, like you mentioned, makes it a lot tougher to make that catch.
It does, especially it's a hard right-handed throw for a first baseman that's right-handed because that runner's going to second. If you're left, you can kind of step inside and get the angle towards second, but if you're a right-hander, you can't really do that. Now there's another slow breaking pitch from Pablo Ortiz that's in there for strike number 1. Well, he showed a curveball in the opening couple innings, not that slow though. It's a called strike. Casio with a double and an RBI his last time up, a chance here with the bases loaded. Single, and an error. And now here's Casio, a high chopper towards second base. They're going to try for 2. They get the 1 out, and they're going to call him out at first base. Looked like Davey might have beat that. A run's going to score. But, boy, I thought that Davey beat that at first base, and it'd be first and third with still 1 out. Brady Anderson is trying to stay put at second base, and they're going to say that he is out. So he was out at second base, but I did not think that Casula was. They turn the double play, 4-6-3, but a run does score to make it a 4-2 game.
Davey's a big guy that has a lot of speed, that high chopper. Thought he was going to beat it out. Looked like he beat it out.
And you mentioned the high chopper, so I thought that's why he would probably get there in time, but Coach Johnson goes and talks to the umpire out in the field. Love to see a replay of that thing, but it looked like his foot hit the bag before that ball got in the glove. So runner at third base. It's a big run right here if they can get one more. Bases were loaded with nobody out. Now a runner at third base with 2 down after the double play. It's up to Kyle Urich now, as he popped up on the infield of the second baseman Rook. Got jammed his last time up. Leads the Mustangs with 30 runs batted in. Ortiz's slow breaking ball. This one not quite as slow, but it's outside for ball 1. Got a couple of different breaking ones. One that's really slow now all of a sudden. The other one is slow but not as slow. Pablo Ortiz, again from University of Texas, Rio Grande Valley. There's a fastball outside. It's pretty good velocity, so again, he can keep hitters off balance with the pretty good velocity on the fastball and then again the ephus type curveball. As long as he's throwing it for a strike, which he has been.
Just want to see him hang one of those, and Kyle measured
Absolutely.
up just right.
Yep. There's a fastball late on it, fouls it back.
Watch out, Dave.
Boy, you got to watch out for those, don't you?
Should break your glove.
I don't think that's net has been like that before. I think that's new this year. Foul ball makes it a 2-ball and 1-strike count to Kyle Urich. I guess it helps the vehicles across the street, but it doesn't help the spectators here.
Yeah, keeps it out of the houses across the street too.
Yeah.
Less broken windows.
2-1. There's an off-speed pitch. Again, not quite as slow, but swung on a missed. It's a 2-ball and 2-strike count to Kyle Urich. 0 for 1 of the game. He is 3 for 12 now against Chillicothe pitching with just 1 RBI in the 3 games prior to tonight. Hitting .300, 5 homers and 30 RBI. Here's the pitch. It is a fastball low. It's full now, 3-2. Laurencio Fisher at third base. 2 down. Mustangs have scored 1 to make it a 4-2 game. We would love to have it first and third with 1 out, so just put the ball in play and maybe able to score a run to make it a 4-3 game. Now I need to get a base hit. 3-2 the count with 2 down. Here's the pitch. Off speed is way outside and low, so he will walk. Kyle Urich is on base. That's his 15th walk of the year, as he's had a pretty good eye. And now it's up to Connor Bacon. Bacon struck out looking his last time up, so he is 0 for 1 so far in the game. He's in a rut right now because he had a 3-strikeout game against the Kansas City Monarchs. He had a 2-strikeout game, I think it was last night, and then he struck out for the first time tonight. He has now struck out 18 times on the year. Now he's walked 26 times, which is good, but he has been struggling at the plate lately. Now fouls one back. He's down 0-1. See if Connor can come through. Again, he's driven in 2 runs in just 2 games against Chillicothe. He's 2 for 7 now after the first at-bat. On the season, though, at 193 with only 4 ribbies. Let's see if he can get his 5th here with 2 down. It's a 4-2 game. Off speed is low. Evens it up, 1 ball, 1 strike. Bacon played in 5 games for Boston College this past year, was 0 for 9 with 1 RBI. So again, didn't play much for them. That was all early in the season. There's, again, that very, very slow off-speed pitch, and Mustangs probably trying to see if he tips that off because, again, that's so much slower than anything else that he throws that he may, if he can throw it at the same arm speed, that's a huge benefit, but I'm not sure that he can, so I guess they're trying to pick that up a little bit. Now a liner that's going to get over the head of the shortstop as Schumer jumped up, couldn't make the catch, and Connor Bacon comes through with a 2-out base hit to score Rencio Fisher, and the Mustangs are back within 1 run.
Talk about a big hit for him. He was needing that, and that's big to pick this team up. Got a runner in scoring position now, down 4-3.
Base hit, an extra base hit could give them the lead. Extra base hit will tie the game, but now the Mustangs get 2 back here in the 3rd to make it a 4-3 game. So Connor Bacon comes through. Bacon, Alou, guys that are struggling, coming through so far here in this game. Alou began the inning with the base hit, and he scored the first run of the game on that ground out, the double play from Davey Casiola. Now it's up to Tyler Cox. Let's see if he can get into one. He's 0 for 1 so far in the game with a 6-3 ground out. As again, this one goes over that second fence. Second netting, I guess I should say. He's 0 for 1 with a ground out to the shortstop, so Cox again 0 for 1. Tyler from Overland Park, well, not too far from home, playing for St. Joseph this summer. Ortiz, a high leg kick from the stretch. Ooh, did he check his swing? They're going to appeal. There's no way that the there's no way the umpire, who was on the left side, the third base side of second base, can see that.
And
now he just threw somebody out. Ozzy Rodriguez, I think, just got thrown out. He said 2-0. So he just, again, I think he was kind of saying what I just said on the air, is that there's no way that the umpire standing on the left side of the infield can see if the right-hander went around.
That'd be like if they let us call balls and strikes. Yeah. You can't see what's inside and outside. You can't see if he went around.
You cannot see if he went around, and the home plate umpire didn't call it, so I don't know how he could call it. So he said that he did. That's why Ozzy was saying something, and then they had a little conversation, and it didn't last too long, but Ozzy got thrown out. So the Mustangs' backup catcher has been thrown out. Still have a third one in John Zuptic, but now it's 0-2 to Tyler Cox. Seems to happen here
more often than not.
More often than not, yes, thank you. There's one in the dirt. Checks his swing that time.
Our last trip to Chillicothe was Chillicothe's starting catcher that got ran. Then he stayed in the stands, talked some more.
Did he
got
really?
Suspended, yeah.
Oh, jeez.
It's always something here.
It is always something here. Chillicothe brings out the best in everybody. Pablo Ortiz. I could get into a story for high school basketball this season, but we'll stay away. Another off speed, trying to stay off speed against Cox, and he's checked his last couple swings. And now it's a 2-ball and 2-strike count. Urick gets second, Bacon at first base. Mustangs have crawled back to within 4-3. It's a 1-1 run deficit. Here's the pitch by Ortiz. Tries a fastball, got it by him. Swing and miss by Tyler Cox. That ends the inning, but the Mustangs get 2 runs on 3 hits. There was 1 error. They leave 2. At the end of 2.5, the St. Joseph Mustangs trail the Chillicothe Mudcats 4-3. They're on 680 KFPQ and the Mustangs Radio Network.
Lavelle Rucker. I encourage you to join me in voting for Gary Myers for Circuit Judge. Gary has 36 years of diverse legal experience and wrote the Call Before You Dig statute, which has saved countless lives. Gary has served as a leader with the American Red Cross, Family Guidance, Ag Expo, and United Way. Vote Gary Myers, Circuit Judge.
This commercial is paid for by the Committee to Elect Gary Myers Judge, Bertha Parker, Treasurer.
Yeah, there's a name going around these parts. You probably heard it by now. It's Jess. And this is his story. He built the pyramids, he built Stonehenge. He built them. At the mention of his name, princes cringe. With the shake of his mighty hand, he'll transform your internet brand. Say no to wasted dough and yes to Jess.
Some say that Jess is solely responsible for the 7 wonders of the ancient world. Fact or fiction, you decide. But one thing's certain, if your business needs help with webby type stuff, Facebook, Google, SEM, Jess will make sure you're being seen. Email him at jess@eaglewebservices.com.
If your web presence is a sloppy mess, here's a man who can bring success. Say no to wasted dough and yes to Jess. Yes to Jess.
You're listening to the St. Joseph Mustangs. The Slice on 680 KFEQ.
We're to the bottom of the 3rd inning here in Chillicothe. I am Dave Riggert. The St. Joseph Mustangs trailed Chillicothe 4-3, but they scored 2 in the top half of the 3rd to make this a 1-run deficit. They swing and a miss to start the inning by Nick Bandman, who was 0 for 1 in the game. Again, he won the home run derby at the All-Star break, an All-Star day at Phil Welch Stadium. And now he fouls one off the catcher's gear of catcher Brady Anderson. So he's quickly down, no balls and 2 strikes. It'll be 4, 5, and 6, middle of 3rd of the order for the Mudcats. Bandman playing 3rd base here this evening. He plays his college baseball at Fort Scott Community College, hitting .246 this summer with a homer and 19 RBI. There's a ground ball toward Alou at 2nd base. Jake will throw him out for a quick 4-3 ground out as Logan Jasek retires the first batter here in the inning. He retired the first 2 in the 2nd, then gave up the single and then an error by Evan McDonald. So they got a 2-out unearned run last inning to make it a 4-1 game at the time. Now the 5-hole hitter Dalton Schumer, who singled and drove in a run to make it a 1-1 game back in the 1st. He digs in. He eventually scored on a wild pitch by Logan Jasek, and now here's one line to center field, hit pretty well, but Orencio Fisher has a beat on it, and he will chase it down left center field. Orencio Fisher, a great jump on that thing, and he'll run it down with great speed to retire Dalton Schumer. Hit it well, but again, he flew out to center field. So there's a fly out, and the Mustangs have the first 2 retired, and now Orencio's former teammate at Missouri Western digs in. Jasek 2 outs on just 4 pitches. Now Nick Golly will come to bat. He doubled as he one-hopped the wall down the left field line. His last time up, he drove in a run, and he eventually was caught trying to steal home after the throw back to the pitcher. Jasek threw it right back home, and Anderson able to apply the tag. So Nick Golly digs in. Nick again from Vancouver, Washington, and that was his first hit against the Mustangs this year. He had been 0 for 7. So McWhorter was 0 for. McWhorter was 0 for on the year. He's got a base hit in the game back in the 1st inning, and then Golly got a base hit as well. Now the Mustang Mustang guys in the dugout having a conversation with the home plate umpire. There's a called strike. 1 ball, 1 strike to count. And it is pretty easy to see how high a pitch is from where we are sitting. And when he's saying they're high, then that's too bad. Looks like that's the case, and now here's a foul right back behind home plate. So 1 ball and 2 strike counts. Nick Golly with 2 outs and nobody on base. Popped him up. It's going to be in foul ground. For Logan Jasek, an 8 pitch. Top half of the 3rd. Through 3.
Box, $21.99. Check them all out in Metzger Sales and Service in Graham. Metzger.com.
As legendary Baltimore Orioles manager Earl Weaver once said, the key to winning baseball is pitching, fundamentals, and 3-run home runs. At Rock Ridge Steel, the key to winning is quality products, quick delivery, and exceptional customer service. Rock Ridge Steel offers steel from 1 inch to 1 truckload to contractors, farmers, and city folk too for home improvements. So when you need steel, see a winner. That's Dan Riley at Rock Ridge Steel in Elwood, Kansas. Rock Ridge Steel. Rock solid steel at rock bottom prices. Proud sponsor of the St. Joe Mustangs.
As a Buchanan County Commissioner, Dan Hausman has worked with many great county employees. He's also helped hundreds of people in the county. He's led the way in helping reduce costs and has held the line on county taxes. Hundreds of thousands of dollars have been saved through better purchasing and working smarter. Economic development has always been a top priority. He's helped create over 2,600 new jobs and brought in over $825 million in new investments in Buchanan County. Experience counts. Vote for Dan Hausman, the Eastern District Commissioner.
I'm Dan Hausman. This message is paid for by the Citizens for Dan Hausman. Donnie Miller, Treasurer.
You're listening to St. Joseph Mustangs Baseball.
Down the line and go!
On 680 KFEQ.
Bigger and Matt Tritton back inside Schaefer Park as we are in Chillicothe tonight. The Mustangs and the Mudcats. St. Joseph trailing right now 4-3, so we are on the top of the 4th inning. Evan McDonald looks at the first pitch. It's a call and strike and a curveball from Pablo Ortiz. He's thrown 60 pitches through 3 innings, so his pitch count pretty high as well. So is J6, and now a looper right to second base. Now it travels just into the outfield grass in right. Not very deep, but it is a ball that's going to be caught by the second baseman, as Dalton Rook will make the catch off the end of the bat that time. And flying out is Evan McDonald. Evan is now 0 for 2 in the game, as he has been red hot, but 0 for 2 so far here this evening. Now Jeremiah Figueroa digs in 0 for 1. He popped up on the infield, got jammed, and was caught by Ortiz, the pitcher. There's a called strike on the outside corner. And you can hear the Mustang dugout right by us saying, "Be consistent." Probably agree with that. On the dirt, 1 ball, 1 strike the counts. You know, every we talk about this a lot, every umpire is going to have a different strike zone, but the one thing everybody asks is be consistent. There's a drive right down the third base line. Jeremiah Figueroa going to dig for 2, and it was bobbled by left fielder McPhail, but Figgy again retreats back to first base. No chance he was going to get to second base in time, but a 2-out single for Jeremiah Figueroa. Good for Figgy to get on bases on the season. He's hitting just 170. So the guys under 200 so far in the game all have 1 hit so far this evening.
Good to see them
if they can get going,
pick it up, and you have guys like Orencio and Davey that are already hitting the ball really well right now. There's a lot for a lineup.
But again, back to my point is that, again, all these guys ask, all the pitcher asks for, all the guys that are hitting, they just want the strike zone to be consistent, because they have to adjust to what he's calling, but it has to be consistent so they can adjust to it.
Makes for a long game if it's constantly changing.
Oh, man, it does. Nobody's happy. Everybody's screaming, yelling, and who knows what's going to be a base hit. Ground ball towards short, deep in the hole. Schumer with a sidearm throw, and he's going to beat it. Jake Alou beats out the ball that was hitting the hole at short, and now Jake Alou's got a 2-hit game, and now it brings up Florencio Fisher, who's got 2 hits in the game. Already the 7th hit in the game for St. Joseph. A 2-out rally now with 2 on and 2 out in the top of the 4th inning.
You mentioned, gotta love seeing that come from the back end of the lineup.
Last 2 guys are 3 out of 4.
The center fielder, Orencio.
Orencio 2 for 2. He's got a single down the third base line and a single line drive to the left fielder. They got down for a base hit, so he is 2 for 2 so far in the game. His average up to 236. Squares to bunt, pulls it back. It's a called strike. Orencio kind of looks back and wasn't real sure that should have been the call, but it is, and now it's a no ball and 1 strike count. Anderson is on deck, but right here Orencio's got to keep this thing going. 2 outs, 2 on. Good speed with Figueroa and Alou. Excuse me, 1 out. I beg your pardon. Here's Orencio, looks at 1 high. I said 2 outs earlier. Excuse me, I was getting ahead of myself. 1 out in the inning, so 2 on, 1 out for the Mustangs. Plenty of chances now with Anderson again on deck. Ball was high. Now it's a count even up at 1 ball, 1 strike. Those hit the ball hard his first 2 times. There's a fastball inside, throw down to first base and diving back. Oh, they got Jake Alou at first base. Andrew Tanis threw down to first base, threw behind everybody, and Jake Alou is going to get thrown out at first base. So now there are 2 outs. The ball was inside. It was going to be a 2-1 count, but Alou got picked off by the catcher. It's a close play, but I think that might have been the right call from our angle right there.
Heck of a throw.
It was a good throw. He's got a good arm. Tanis has a really good arm. So now Rencio's got to come up with a 2-out base hit. That one's low. He liked the call. As he shook his head, looked back at him, and shook his head.
I'll agree with that one.
Again, 0 is 2 for 2 in the game. He was 0 for 3. They only played in one game so far this year against Chillicothe. He was 0 for 3, so he's got his first hits against the Mudcats. Base hit can score a run here and maybe tie the game up. There's a fastball that's going to hit him. So it would have been ball 4 anyway, but he gets on base, hit by a pitch. And Rencio has now been hit 8 times this year. That's the most at any level, he told me earlier this year. He's just like, I've never been hit this much in baseball, and that's his 8th time this year. At Missouri Western in 2 years, he got hit 7 times total in 2 years. And he was a starter both years.
Talk about the frustration compounding in that at-bat.
Yep.
Strike zone's kind of all over the place. Then you get hit. It's a little frustrating.
Boy, if Lou wouldn't have got picked off, bases loaded, 1 out right now. Now Brady Anderson will dig in. He bats left-handed. Brady is 0 for 2 in the game, reaching on an error by the first baseman his last time up. There's a pitch in the dirt. Good stop by Tanis. He's a really good catcher. He plays at Fort Scott Community College. He's got a good arm. He's very good behind the plate. So Brady gets ahead in the count, as he is 0 for 2 so far tonight. He flew out to center his first time up. I mentioned the error on the first baseman his last at-bat. Now a ground ball to the right side of the infield, and the second baseman with it, Rook, I should say. He'll throw out Anderson. Brady slams his helmet down in frustration, and that will end the Mustang 4th. We go to the bottom half of the 4th inning. St. Joseph still down by 1. They leave 2 on base. The 4-3 Chillicothe lead as we continue here on 680 KFBQ and the Mustangs Radio Network.
Four things you love: your family, your home, the Mustangs, and your car. Eastridge Car Washes can't help with the first 3. But boy, can they help with your car. Eastridge Car Washes are St. Joe's premier drive-through washes, offering wash options to fit any budget. Free vacs, hand dry, and the only washes in town to completely remove icky summer bugs. Show your car some love. Come to Eastridge Car Wash behind Firestone on Village Drive, next to the Highway Patrol on the North Belt. Proud to sponsor your St. Joe Mustangs.
Have you ever dreamed of owning your own golf cart? Whether it's to get around your farm, visit your neighbor, or take to the campground, use it on the job, or hitting the links. Go to Midwest Central Outdoor now for up to 24 months with no interest with qualifying credit. Dreaming of having a golf cart can become reality with an Easy Go golf cart. Midwest Central Outdoor is Northwest Missouri's authorized Easy Go golf cart dealership. Midwest Central Outdoor, right off 71 Highway, I-29, exit 53.
For our troops and their families, the military is more than a career. It's a journey, and every step along the way, the USO is there.
It's an experience that soldier will never forget.
Learn more today at USO.org.
The pitch. You're listening to St. Joe's Summer College Baseball Team.
Swinging a line drive, base hit center field.
On 680 KFBQ.
Along with Mustangs assistant GM Matt Tritton, I am Dave Riggert. Thanks for joining us for Mustangs baseball here in Chillicothe on this Sunday evening. Big game between these two teams as they are right in the thick of it in the Mink League North. Chillicothe and Sedalia in first place right now, and the Mustangs just a half game back. They could go ahead to Chillicothe by a half game with a win tonight, and it depends on what Sedalia does in their contest this evening. Mustangs down 4-3 as we go to the bottom half of inning number 4. And for the Mudcats, it will be the bottom third of their order, 7, 8, and 9. So Logan Jasek needed just 8 pitches last inning. He's at 55 through 3, and he's retired 4 in a row. Let's see if he can keep the rhythm going that he has built up these last couple of frames. And again, he was pretty good. There's a ground ball toward Casiolo. High hop off the lip of the grass to his waist. He'll make the throw and a 1-pitch out. So set and make it 9 pitches and 4 outs for Logan Jasek. He's retired 5 straight. And even going back to the second inning, he gave up the 2-out single, but then he did his job and got the ground ball to short, but that extended the inning, got the run to score. So the last 2 frames since the first, he's been pretty good.
And how huge is that? You're down 4-1. You're kind of on that brink of keeping your team in it or letting this one get out of hand, and he's done a good job. All of a sudden, it's a 4-3 ball game, keeping him in it.
So again, bottom third of the order, there's a ground out, and there's a called strike to Dalton Rook, the second baseman who's 0 for 1. He struck out swinging his first time up, the only strikeout so far for Logan Jasek. The one thing for Logan, though, he hasn't walked a batter. That's a good sign for him. There's a fastball. It's going to be called. Again, that's below the knees. It's really not, I don't think that's probably a strike, but at least he's calling it both ways.
Yeah. Really, the walks have played this entire pitching staff.
Yep.
And when they don't walk them, it's great.
And you saw those the last 2 nights.
Play, yeah.
Hardly any walks. Just one last night. I believe there's one the other night. There's another ground eat Ground ball toward Cassiola. Stays on the ground. He'll get it to shoot tops and throw across the diamond. I'm not sure there's a better defensive third baseman in this league than Davey Cassiola.
No.
He is fantastic.
Very sharp over there, playing out at California Lutheran, and first time in the Midwest, and making a good impression out here.
He is. He had a big career at California Lutheran, too. He's talking to McDonald about how that ball just kind of stayed down and slid down. he wasn't quite sure about it, but so they're talking things over, but he's made 2 plays, 2 5-3 groundouts, and now 6 in a row retired by Logan Jasek. And the last 5 have been on just 12 pitches. He's been ahead of a lot of hitters so far in this game. We'll get to the first pitch strikes here in a second. There's a ball to Cade Parker, who flew out to Rencio Fisher in left center field his last time up. Ooh, this one got, did I get the bat or the helmet? I thought it might have got his helmet. I think it got the bat. That'll be a foul ball. Wow, that was close to getting his helmet, but that got his bat, so that's a foul ball. 1 ball, 1 strike to count. That was dangerous, but it'll be a strike. Kind of like the knob of the bat on. There's a called strike very low again.
At the shins.
Man,
Oof.
very low. So both teams now have to adjust to that and be ready. If it's low, you probably better swing at it.
Yeah.
Especially with 2 strikes. See if you can get one maybe before that. With 2 strikes, you got to swing at it. Ground ball toward Evan McDonald. He'll scoop it up. Bobbles it for a second. Throws accurately, and now it's a 1-2-3 inning for the second straight inning. 7 straight retired by Logan Jasek. Mustangs down 1 as we go to the 5th. At the end of 4 innings, it's Chillicothe 4 and St. Joseph 3 right here on 680 KFEQ and the Mustangs Radio Network.
Do something special.
Oh, I've been driving that old pickup across all these 50 states, and the sure ain't seen saving like those energy rebates.
KCP&L, not good at country songs, great at saving you money. We have 18 ways to save you a little or a lot. Find the one that's right for you at kcpl.com/save.
Save money and energy with kcpl.com/save.
There are 2 universal truths that every ATV owner knows. ATVs are awesome. Middlemen are not. Scooters Power Sport services the brands you love. Polaris, Can-Am, Yamaha, Kawasaki, and Honda. And when you bring it in for service, no middleman. You'll talk directly to a mechanic who'll tell you what's wrong and the best way to fix it. They also carry new and used ATVs and side-by-sides and offer dealer financing at rates as low as 1.99%. Check them out online at scooterspowersports.com. Scooters Power Sports. Ride it like you can afford to fix it.
I'm Little Teapot, short and stout.
Here is my handle and here is my spout.
Now that, like this. When I get all steamed up, then I shout, tip me over and pour me out.
This is WWE superstar Roman Reigns. It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
Visit fatherhood.gov, brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
You're listening to St. Joseph Mustangs Baseball.
Down the line and go!
On 680 KFEQ.
We're to the top of the 5th inning here in Chillicothe with Matt Tritt, and I am Dave Riggert. The St. Joseph Mustangs trail by 1. We're down 4-1 after 2 innings, but have climbed their way back into it. Down just 1 run. They will bat here in the top of the 5th inning. And Cassiola leads things off. It'll be 3-4-5 for St. Joe's Collegiate Summer Baseball team. Been 2-1 this year against the Mudcats. 1-0 here at Schaefer Park in Chillicothe. Pablo Ortiz back out there. He has thrown 73 pitches through 4 innings, so his pitch count is well higher now than Logan Jasek's, both through 4 innings, so they've been able to work the count with Ortiz. He also has limited his walks, just 1 so far in the game. Has a hit batter, so 2 free passes, which it would have been a walk anyway, so we'll say 2. But none for Logan and just 2 for Ortiz so far through now just over 4 innings of work. There's a line drive to right, but it's going to be right at Nick Golly, and makes 1 hop step to his right and will make the catch. And that's baseball, hit very well, but right at Golly and right after it was a 2-0 count. First man retired here in the inning.
Hitter, Kyle Urich.
Now Kyle Urich will bat. He walked was stranded his last time up, popped up on the infield, was caught by the second baseman Rook back in the opening frame. So officially 0 for 1 with a walk. Came in hitting .300 with 5 homers and 30 RBI. The St. Louis native, now 3 for 12 against Mudcat pitching this year. There's a pitch inside for a 1-ball count. He's had a couple big years at Webster University in St. Louis. He transferred from Division II Maryville in St. Louis to Division III Webster. Said it was the best decision he's ever made, and he has been very good there. Now he lines one deep to right, but going back golly, and again, another line drive that he didn't have to move too far. He played him pretty deep anyway, and 2 line drives out to golly in right field.
The first baseman, Connor Bacon.
Last 2 years, Urich at Webster hit 28 combined home runs. 17 as a sophomore, 11 this past year as a junior. He'll be a senior in the fall. Connor Bacon singled his last time up. There's a curveball in the dirt. So Ortiz trying to get a quick inning, too, with 2 lineouts to right. He's only thrown 6 pitches now, with that first pitch being a ball here in the inning. This will be his 80th pitch, as he's almost through 5 innings. Tyler Cox is on deck. Here's a fastball. Must have been outside, because that's been a called strike right there, a little below the knees. 2 balls and no strikes to Connor Bacon. You can see even the catchers now, and right now you watch Tanis, he is putting his glove really low because that's the strike zone. Throw it low because it's tough for batters, and you're more than likely going to get the call, so he's keeping it low. Now it's a 3-ball count to Connor Bacon.
If that's how the game's being called, then by all means play to the...
Yes.
If the other batter's box is a strike.
This one almost hit him as it goes to the backstop. Bacon will run down to first base, but Tanis goes back to get it. So a 4-pitch walk. Ortiz was going to have a quick inning. Now he's got a 4-pitch walk. He's up over 80 pitches here through 4 2/3, and that brings up a dangerous hitter in Tyler Cox. So Cox and McDonald up, see if they can get a 2-out rally going here in the 5th inning, down by 1.
Comes thanks to another good at-bat by Connor Bacon. RBI single last time he's up, making this a 4-3 ball game, and this one drawing that walk.
If I asked you who leads the team with walks this year, I'm guessing your response probably wouldn't be Connor Bacon.
I'd probably go with the guy that bats before him, and Kyle Urich.
Yeah.
But I'm guessing since you're asking, Connor Bacon.
Yeah, it's Connor Bacon. I would have never have known that had I don't do the statistics and have them right in front of me. I wouldn't have thought that. It just hasn't seemed like it this year. But his on base, despite hitting 193, his on base is 446. So he's almost getting on base once every 2 at bats.
Especially in an era now where it's like, we don't care, strike out as much as you want.
Yep.
If you're going to hit some home runs, to see a big guy like that come up and have that patience at the plate, that's huge.
He's had some rough games here recently with 3 and 2 strikeout games, but again, he's still getting on base because of the walks. He's been on base twice in this game now with a base hit and a walk. Let's see if Cox can get one going here. There's a pitch that is on the outside corner for strike number 1. He tried all breaking stuff and then blew a fastball by Tyler to strike out his last time up. So now both benches. So the umpire has now warned both dugouts.
Only a matter of time, right?
Anything else, and even if you put one of the Mustangs put their hands up, they're like, what do we do? And he goes, don't even do that, you'll get thrown. So, okay.
It's played more like a golf game than baseball.
No balls and a strike. Here's Tyler Cox. There's 1 low and away. 1 ball, 1 strike to count to Cox. 0 for 2. Again, that strikeout in the 3rd and the ground out to the shortstop in the 2nd inning.
We do have the golf clap going in the Mustangs dugout now.
Well, you brought that upon.
They did that last time we were here. Knew it was coming.
Oh. Pitch outside, 2 balls and a strike to Tyler Cox. Now Ortiz struggling to find the strike zone a little bit. On the year, he had 27 Ks and 11 walks coming in 29 innings. He's only got 1 strikeout so far in this game. There's a called strike outside corner. Evens it up, 2 balls, 2 strikes. See if Cox can keep this 2-out rally going after the walk to Connor Bacon. Ortiz checks first base. High leg kick from the stretch, and it's hit in the air to left field. Not very deep, though. Coming on is McPhail. He'll make the catch, and that retires Tyler Cox for the 3rd time in the game. Mustangs come up empty as they leave the 2-out base hit on base, and we are through 4.5. Halfway home, Mustangs right now trail the Chillicothe Mudcats 4-3 as we continue here on 680 KFEQ and the Mustangs Radio Network.
It's time to get your bogey, eagle, and birdie on the dance floor. Tee off at Duncan Hills Golf Course in Savannah, where you'll find 18 holes of magnificent greens. They offer more than just quality, affordable golf. Take advantage of tee times at a special price when you visit them online. Dust off those clubs, grab your family and a group of friends, and let the games begin. Make Duncan Hills Golf Course in Savannah your next golfing experience. Duncan Hills Golf, where a bad day at golf always beats a good day at work. DuncanHillsGC.com.
The redesigned Case IH Maxim Series tractors are now available at Dura Equipment in Savannah. These new tractors feature an improved cooling package and come equipped with fuel-efficient Tier 4 B-Final SCR-only technology. Other enhancements include a redesigned hood and roof, a longer wheelbase for improved turning radius, and 8 high-power LED lights. Optional continuously variable transmission technology is available on select models. For more information on Maxim Series tractors, visit Dura Equipment in Savannah.
When your home is for sale, it's important to keep medications out of the wrong hands during open houses or showings. While decluttering, remove medications from bathroom cabinets where they are open to misuse and abuse by visitors. The Aware Prescription Drug Safety Program suggests storing medications in a lockbox or hidden location instead. Learn more at awarerx.org, a public service from National Association of Boards of Pharmacy Foundation.
The pitch. You're listening to St. Joe's Summer College Baseball Team.
Swinging a line drive, base hit center field.
On 6-8 KFEQ.
Dave Riggert and Matt Tritton back in Chillicothe as Preston Pavlik will lead things off. He is the leadoff man for the Mudcats, 1 for 2 so far in the game. That's the first pitch low for ball 1 from Logan Jasek, who threw just 16 pitches to get the last 6 outs in the game. He can't check his swing on a breaking pitch. It's going to be in the dirt, but it's a swing and miss, and now it's a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Logan, 16 pitches the last 2 innings to retire them in order, and 14 of the 16 were strikes. It's a great sign for him because he has struggled with his command at times. Again, this year, 16 walks and 10 strikeouts coming into the game. Low and away, 2 balls and a strike now from Jasek to Pavlik, who again 1 for 2. He singled and scored with 2 outs in the second inning. Was out 4-3 his first time up, and now a grounder left side of the infield glove to his left by Cassiel, and the sidearm throw gets him at first base. And Pavlik runs well, so he had to hurry, but again, that ball kind of shooted off to his left, had to lunge and grab that thing, and he made a good play.
Said last inning, great third baseman there. They're used to the way Phil Welch plays, which is different than every field they go to, of course, but ball hits up like that. That's not easy to last second reach out, glove that, and not let it get in left field.
Now 8 straight retired by Logan Jasek. And again, there was an error on the previous one before that, so it really should be 9 in a row. Last man to reach was McPhail, who's at the dish right now, and that was an error. He lines one foul down the left field line. Goes into the batting cage over there. But gets ahead 0-1. No balls and a strike. McPhail so far is 1 for 2 in the game. He singled the first hit in the game for Chillicothe. Came back in the first inning. This one misses a little bit high. It's a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Mustangs down 4-3 as we are in the bottom of the 5th inning. Lights are on. Not much wind to speak of tonight. Got some swing and miss there. It's a off-speed pitch, and now it's a 1-ball and 2-strike count. Logan really hasn't even been in danger of walking many guys tonight. That's good for him because, again, he has shown some control issues at times. Another one, it's a foul tip, but in the glove of Anderson. A great job by Brady to pick that one before it got in the dirt, and a strikeout, the second of the night for Logan Jasek. Now 9 straight retired by the Mustang starter. Boy, he is throwing really well right now. Going to go for number 10 in a row with Ross McWhorter, who last time was out 6-3 on a ground out. Chillicothe scored an unearned run. That's the difference right now, the unearned run in the second. 2-out single and then an error by Evan McDonald. Both teams have just 1 error in the game. Mustangs have 3 runs and 7 hits. The Mudcats have 4 runs and 5 hits so far in the game, so the Mustangs have out-hit them so far tonight. Foul ball makes it no balls and a strike. So again, Logan gets ahead in the count. So far, of the 20 batters he's faced, 14 first-pitch strikes. There's a fastball that goes right by him. But we've seen games with Logan where he's been under 50% with first-pitch strikes, sitting behind 1-0 all the time. He is now 14 for 20 on first-pitch strikes tonight.
You go from It's a hot night, throwing a lot of pitches. How long is he going to last? Blazing through the fifth.
There's a foul ball again, another strike. So far, 74 pitches, and 50 of them for strikes. 68% of his pitches for strikes. That's a pretty good percentage right now. That's higher than average, at least for the Mustangs. He's through 4 2/3, is retired 9 in a row. Can he get number 10 right here? The liner to left, it's hit pretty well, but Cox to his right will make the catch, and it's another 1-2-3 inning. Logan Jasek has retired 10 consecutive batters. We go to the 6th. At the end of 5, it's a 4-3 lead for the Chillicothe Mudcats as we continue with Mustangs baseball here on 680 KFEQ and the Mustangs Radio Network.
Team number 1, Jacob, Leroy, and Clayton.
The summer, and it's hard to believe, but hunting season is just weeks away. And to get you fired up, J&B Outdoors in St. Joseph is announcing the fall kickoff sale. Stop in Saturday, July 23rd from 9 until 5 for free T-shirts for the first 50 customers. Door prizes, raffles, and take advantage of unbelievable prices on bows, crossbows, archer accessories, and hunting gear. Meet outdoor industry reps and shoot a Parker crossbow in their mobile shooting range. Kickoff event is July 23rd. Sale price is good through the 30th.
Brown Lumber salutes you, the weekend warrior, the don't quit till the job is done guy. We salute your commitment to finishing the job, getting her done, even if you're doing it on Saturday. We got you. We believe in working Saturdays, too. Heck, this country was founded working on Saturdays. Our founding fathers didn't quit in the middle of the job because it was Saturday. Get in, get out, come by Brown Lumber. Open through the week, and yes, even on Saturdays until noon, because that's the hard-working American way. Brown Lumber, 5th and Patey.
As a Buchanan County Commissioner, Dan Hausman has worked with many great county employees. He's also helped hundreds of people in the county. He's led the way in helping reduce costs and has held the line on county taxes. Hundreds of thousands of dollars have been saved through better purchasing and working smarter. Economic development has always been a top priority. He's helped create over 2,600 new jobs and brought in over $825 million in new investments in Buchanan County. Experience counts. Vote for Dan Hausman, Eastern District Commissioner.
I'm Dan Hausman. This message is paid for by the citizens for Dan Hausman, Donnie Miller, Treasurer.
You're listening to St. Joseph Mustangs Baseball.
Down the line to go!
On 680 KFEQ.
With Matt Tritt, I'm Dave Riggert. Thanks for joining us from Chillicothe this evening. And now a ground ball up the middle for a base hit. First pitch swing was Evan McDonald. He wastes no time, and he's able to knock one right back up the box for a base hit. The 8th in the game for the Mustangs. Leadoff man is aboard. When the leadoff man has reached base, the Mustangs have scored that man in both of their innings, in the first and in the third. So let's see if they can do that here in the 6th inning as they are down by 1-4-3.
Evan's first 2 ABs, weak ground out, weak pop out, but you knew he's been so hot lately. He's going to get a pitch he can take, and takes that one right back up the middle.
So Ortiz still out there. He has thrown now 87 pitches. There goes McDonald. A pitch in the dirt, and he got a huge jump. No throw. Evan McDonald, boy, that's something different in his game this year, too. 23 steals now in 28 attempts. Last year, he stole 11 bags and 3 2 years ago. So he had 14 combined steals. He's got 23 now. He's in scoring position with nobody out.
And that's that confidence I'm talking about. Gets on for the first time, first pitch, gone. Not even thinking about it.
He's thinking about going to third base right now. He's dancing out there. Ortiz will spin that way. So he's got him thinking.
Nobody covered. Let's go. Let's steal home.
So first pitch swing and then first pitch stealing. 2 pitches, he's on second base with nobody out. Here's the slide step this time. Figueroa looks to bunt, and he almost got hit in the head. It's a 2-ball count. Preston Felgate's always got something to say in the dugout.
Yes, he does. So we usually banish him to the bullpen.
Even as a
St.
coach.
Joe,
there's really, the bullpen is the dugout here.
Right, here it is, yeah.
That might not be good. Ortiz having some issues. Here's the pitch. It is low and away. 3-ball count now to Jeremiah Figueroa. So the 7-hole hitter gets on. Now 8 has a 3-0 count. The 9-hole hitter has 2 hits already in the game. He is on deck in Jake Alou. They do have somebody warming in the pen. Looks like it's Ryan Dowling, who just joined this team recently. There's a fastball. Looks like be right down the middle. Called strike number 1 to Figgy, who's 1 for 2 in the game. He had a single his last time up and was stranded back in the 4th inning. He popped up on the infield of the pitcher Ortiz his first time up. McDonald off of second base, squares to bunt, and he's going to walk. 5-pitch walk, going away, and first 2 have reached base here in the 6th inning, down 1. The tying run at second. The go-ahead run is at first base. Now their pitching coach is going to come out and talk to all their infielders, and obviously talk to Pablo Ortiz, the starter who's having some control issues now at 93 pitches. Looks like he might be wearing down just a little bit.
A little bit. that frustrating for you? They're giving you an out, and you can't throw a strike.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. When they're giving you an out, just
nuts.
throw
Even
it down the
3-1
middle.
count, a hitter's count.
Throw it down the middle. Yep, absolutely. When you've got a runner and they're trying to sacrifice, again, you want to make the bunt hard,
right?
But you got to throw a strike. You have to throw a strike. So as you mentioned, they are giving you the out. An update from Liberty Park Stadium. That game is over. Even if the Mustangs win tonight, they will still be a half game back because Sedalia did beat Branson. No surprise, 13-5 the score. Branson now 2-33. Having a rough summer on the season.
But everybody is still in it except for Branson.
Yes.
North and South Division.
Absolutely.
So everybody playing Branson has to be a little bit. We don't want to be a team to give them a third win.
No question.
That's scary.
No question. So Sedalia wins 13-5. So if the Mustangs win tonight, they'll be ahead of Chillicothe, but they would be still a half game back of Sedalia. But again, they have the tiebreaker over Sedalia. That is humongous. And if they win this, then the worst they could finish is 3-3 against Chillicothe. So again, they're trying to get the tiebreakers with these two teams and obviously win as many as they can. Ortiz will stay in the game. Alou squares to bunt, pulls it back. It's high and away for ball one. Again, they're giving you the out.
And you had to force a third this time to where you might be able to get that lead runner.
Alou, I would guess, would try and either bunt it down one of the lines so that he can bring Bandman from third because there's no way they're going to cover third base right now. Just doesn't want the pitcher to grab it and be able to throw there. Going to square and bunt. Yeah, I bunted a pitch that was pretty low. Probably was, well, you never know if it was going to be a strike or not, but that was a tough pitch to bunt, is I guess what we're saying. Ortiz now at 95 pitches. I mean, they've got a righty in the pen right now warming up, so I'm guessing he got a short leash now here in the sixth inning. He's in line for a win if they could win this game and if they get out of this inning, but the Mustangs have 2 on, nobody out, down 1 here in the sixth inning. Trying to get the thing back to Orencio Fisher's been on base all 3 times. Figueroa at first base, McDonald at second. Alou, and now they will twirl back towards second base. He's thinking about McDonald a lot right now at second.
Yes, he is.
Evan with a good lead. They've got their shortstop Schumer kind of getting back behind Evan right now just in case.
Recorded.
And there goes McDonald, and it's going to be a steal of third base. He's in there, and now Figgy will follow up and get to second. So just like that, you don't need to bunt anymore. The Mustangs have runners at second and third, and nobody out. It was a called strike. That's a great job of hitting, though, by Alou, because he could have bunted that thing, but he saw a great jump from McDonald. I'll take the strike. You get to third, and you get to second, and then I'll swing away.
And you know what? If you just take the out, maybe they have a runner on third, but you have another out if you're Chillicothe.
Yep. So second and third with nobody out. Alou, curveball swing on a missed. That's a big strikeout for Ortiz, though. But it worked. It's like the sacrifice, because that's what would have happened if he would have got the bunt down and they would have got the sacrifice to play out the way that we would have thought it played out. But he swings and misses there, and it looks like we'll have a pitching change. So we'll get a break in, let you know who the new pitcher is. Ortiz goes 5 1/3. The runners on base, though, are his responsibility. Still, they will bring in a righty out of the pen. We'll let you know who it is when we return. Mustangs down 4-3, but they've got runners at second and third and 1 out here in inning number 6. We continue on 680 KFBQ and the Mustangs Radio Network.
As a Buchanan County Commissioner, Dan Hausman has worked with many great county employees. He's also helped hundreds of people in the county. He's led the way in helping reduce costs and has held the line on county taxes. Hundreds of thousands of dollars have been saved through better purchasing and working smarter. Economic development has always been a top priority. He's helped create over 2,600 new jobs and brought in over $825 million in new investments in Buchanan County. Experience counts. Vote for Dan Hausman, Eastern District Commissioner.
I'm Dan Hausman. This message is paid for by the citizens for Dan Hausman, Donnie Miller, Treasurer.
The same coat being used to protect the finish on that airplane can also be used on your car, truck, RV, and even motorcycle. Aviation Frog Polish, trademarked by Metzger Sales and Service Incorporated. It's a microscopic, invisible protective coating that repels dirt and water, reduces friction, and actually improves gas mileage. Use it on almost any surface: vinyl, plastic, fiberglass, rubber, polished metals. Frog Polish is easy to use. Just mist on, wipe, and then wipe again in a few minutes. Pick it up at Metzger Sales and Service in Graham or at Metzger.com.
If you or a loved one has sleep apnea, you can help advance research that may lead to a cure. myapnea.org is an online community where providers, researchers, families, and patients can share and learn from each other. Fill out the online survey and wake up to a better future at myapnea.org, a public service from the American Sleep Apnea Association.
The pitch. You're listening to St. Joe's Summer College Baseball Team.
Swinging a line drive, base hit center field.
On 680 KFEQ.
We are in the top of the 6th inning with 1 out. Mustangs will look at a new pitcher. Ryan Dowling will be the new pitcher from Washburn University. He was a high school teammate of Orencio Fisher's at Lee's Summit West. And guess who the first batter he will face out of the pen? Orencio Fisher. He will be the first batter that Ryan Dowling will face. Dowling just has had a great summer. He's appeared in 8 games, 13 1/3 innings, 0 runs allowed. He has 10 strikeouts and 2 walks, but he has a whip of 0.75. He has not been touched this summer out of the pen. Not a ton of appearances, just 8. Only 13 1/3 innings, but no decisions, but a 0 ERA, not even an unearned run so far this year for Dowling. He's been really good. He pitches in the MLA at Washburn in Topeka. Orencio Fisher may have faced him too this summer, or this spring, with the Griffins and Ichabods when they battled, and there's a pitch blown away for ball 1. And Ryan Dowling out there. Mustangs back to the top order with runners at 2nd and 3rd. Here's the pitch by Dowling. Ground ball left side of the infield. Gets out of the glove of Bandman, and a run will score. Figueroa to third base. He'll stop right there. Bandman to his left could not grab it. And we'll see how they scored. I think they've already put an error on the board. Tough error, but Mustangs don't really care. A run came in a score, and we are tied up as the St. Joseph Mustangs leadoff man has been on base all 4 times now here in the game. So the Mustangs have tied the game. They were down 4-1. They've come back to tie it. Tough error on Bandman. They've been handing out errors like they're large sodas here.
Yeah, a lot of large sodas here. No, that was one that looked like even if it was close on the ground, it's just too far out there.
Yeah.
It might tip off the end of it. That was a tough play.
Might just go hit.
We'll give him a hit. 3 for 3.
Figueroa is at third base. He had to stay put to make sure the Bandman couldn't get it. Fisher at first base. Let's see if Orencio goes. There's a bunt by Anderson. It's down the first base line, and it will get back into fair territory, and it never did go foul, as it was right down the first base line. McWhorter just let it go. It stays in fair territory, and an RBI bunt single for Brady Anderson. That was a heck of a bunt by Anderson, as it stayed right down the line, and Figgy scores to make it a 5-4 Mustang lead. Wow, that bunt was impressive.
It doesn't get any better than that.
No, it does not. And
McWhorter should have got down on his belly and started blowing it foul.
He bunted it. It was right down the first. It was hit pretty hard, but it would never go foul. It looked like it was foul maybe for a couple seconds, but then it drifted back into fair territory. Davey Casio looks at a pitch outside, so both runners are charged to the starter Pablo Ortiz. So he gives up 5 runs. So 1-ball count now to Davey Casiola, who is 1 for 3 so far in the game. Got into a double play and lined out to right. His last 2 times up at a double that drove in a run. Here's a hard hit ball that gets through the left side of the infield. Orencio Fisher is going to be held up at third base as a throw home. Boy, that was a good throw. Good idea to hold him at third base. Bases loaded, still just 1 out. It's a 5-4 Mustangs lead. Casiola second hit in the game.
Yeah, drill that.
And now it's up to Kyle Urich. So Dowling, again, he's not allowed to run here in the inning, but now all 3 runners on base are his responsibility, and again, he has not allowed an earned run or run at all this season. Kyle Urich so far is 0 for 2. Urich walked back in the 3rd, popped up on the infield, and also lined to right on a ball that was well struck, but right at Nick Golly in right field. Bases loaded, 1 out. Mustangs leading now 5-4. The pitch by Dowling is hit in the air, very deep to left center field. Going back is McPhail, going back is Pavlica. It is off the wall in left center field. Fisher scores, Anderson scores, and they will hold Casiola at third base. A 2 RBI double for Kyle Urich, and the Mustangs take a 7-4 lead here in the 6th inning. That ball was clobbered by Urich with a 375 sign.
Just about 10 feet short of getting out.
It was. Nice to be right by the Mustang dugout, get all the cheering, because not too many other people are here in this facility. So now the Mustangs have 4 runs in the inning. It's a 7-4 St. Joseph lead. How about 11 hits now against the Mudcat pitching staff? Even when they got 11 runs last night, there were only 10 hits in the game because of some errors and some misplayed things by a Branson team that's struggling. But this is a good team that they're just hitting the crud out of right now.
They've really turned it on.
Swing of the bats well. And then when you look at there's a one-hand swing as and it was the right hand that came off for a lefty Bacon. You don't see that hardly ever happen, but his one hand came off, and that'll be now a no ball and 2-strike count to Connor Bacon. Still chance with Urich at second base, and Cassiola at third, still just 1 out. Needs to just put the ball in play right now. The infield is still going to give up a run for an out, which I'm a little surprised with how Jacek is throwing.
Yeah, he's in a groove now.
He's retired 10 straight. Yeah. He's retired 10 straight. Now his team has given him a 3-run lead. It's a 1-2 count to Connor. He almost got hit. He walked his last time up. Now it's a 2-ball and 2-strike count. He struck out looking in the first. He singled to right in the 3rd inning, and then he walked in the 5th. He is the 8th batter here in the 6th for the Mustangs. They've scored 4 in the inning. Still just 1 out. Runners at 2nd and 3rd. Dowling's pitch in the dirt. It's a full count. This is why he walked so much. He was down 0-2, and now he's worked it full. He's got a very, very good eye. On deck is Tyler Cox, the 9th batter in the inning. Just put the ball in play right here. That's his job. And he does it. It's going to get over the pitcher, and this will score a run. The play at first base is made, but it's an RBI ground out for Connor Bacon, the 5th run of the inning. That's all he had to do. Put the ball in play, middle of the infield. It scores a run, and St. Joseph now ahead 8-4 here in the top of the 6th. RBI for Bacon, his 5th, but his 3rd this year against Chillicothe. He likes playing against the Mudcats.
That's why he's in the lineup.
That's right. Going back to what I was saying there, we saw the lineup prior to the game. We're just like, man, this is not quite the best lineup probably that the Mustangs could put out there. Not to saying these guys can't do it, because look what they're doing. But Lou, Figueroa, Bacon, guys hitting under 200 in a game with a first-place team. But, again, that shows the confidence that Coach Johnson has in all of his players.
Right.
All 30, how many players he has. Now it's a 1-ball, 1-strike count to Tyler Cox, who's 0 for 3 in the game.
Now it's about pushing the right buttons. These guys are coming through with the big hits. Logan Jacek's pitching some big games, and sometimes he's stepped up, sometimes he hadn't. And obviously tonight, pushing the right buttons, he's coming through with 5 big innings so far. 8-4 St. Joseph, a 5-run 6th inning, and now it's a fly ball hit high, not very deep. Cox to Golly and right, and that will be the last out inning. 9 and come to the plate, though. The Mustangs now have a 4-run lead as they put 5 on the board. It's 8-4 St. Joseph after 5.5 from Chillicothe as we continue right here on 680 KFBQ and the Mustangs, a radio network.
Everyone, I'm Ed Rao. I'm retired from the Buchanan County Sheriff's Department. I've endorsed Gary Myers for judge. Gary is a community asset and has practiced law for over 38 years in Buchanan and Andrew County. He cares deeply about the residents and the community and will be tough on crime. I can guarantee he will be impartial and give everyone respect and dignity. Please vote for Gary Myers for judge August the 2nd. Thank you.
This commercial is paid for by the committee to elect Gary Myers judge, Bertha Parker treasurer.
As legendary Baltimore Orioles manager Earl Weaver once said, the key to winning baseball is pitching, fundamentals, and 3-run home runs. At Rock Ridge Steel, the key to winning is quality products, quick delivery, and exceptional customer service. Rock Ridge Steel offers steel from 1 inch to 1 truckload to contractors, farmers, and city folk too for home improvements. So when you need steel, see a winner. That's Dan Riley at Rock Ridge Steel in Elwood, Kansas. Rock Ridge Steel. Rock solid steel at rock bottom prices. Proud sponsor of the St. Joe Mustangs.
Matt always knew he wanted to be a doctor. That's why he makes the most of every day. To study before breakfast, to work hard, to do whatever was necessary to achieve his goal. He found an answer in the military. If you have a passion, a vision for your future in any field, todaysmilitary.com can be your path to a fulfilling career. You have a calling, we have an answer. Find your way at today'smilitary.com.
You're listening to St. Joseph Mustangs Baseball.
Down the line to go!
On 680 KFEQ.
Logan Jasek has retired the last 10 batters he has faced. Here is Nick Bandman. His first pitch is a little bit low and away for ball one as we start the bottom of the sixth inning. Mustangs were down one entering the sixth. They now have doubled up the Mudcats. They're up 8-4. They 5-run top of the sixth inning. Jasek's pitch is swung and missed by Nick Bandman. It's a 1-ball-and-1-strike count now to the Home Run Derby champion this year in the Mink League as he is playing third base and hitting in the cleanup hole. He's only hit one homer, though, this year for the Mudcats. But he has, obviously, the ability to do it as he had a good year at Fort Scott Community College this past year as he hit 17 bombs for Fort Scott. Ball low, 2 balls and a strike as Jasek has fallen behind Bandman. Here's an off-speed pitch in there for strike number 2. And he's shown a lot of confidence in all of his pitches, even throwing an off-speed pitch 2-1. A lot of times he'll be behind and throw the fastball, and then guys can tee off on that. But he's kept guys off balance. Did he check his swing? They want to appeal. And again, there's no way that the first base umpire could tell, and he doesn't even do anything. He didn't say yes or no, and they're going to say that he did not go around. So it's a full count, 3-2 now to Bandman. Logan from the windup. Here's the pitch. Missed outside. So hope to get the strikeout. Then that's his first walk tonight. So that stops the string of 10 straight retired. And in that case, that's the home plate umpire's call. And normally, in a big league game, you just check with the first or third base umpire because they can see it way better. But in this situation, the home plate umpire has to be the guy, and he really didn't do much either. He didn't say, yeah, no, yes. He just kind of went.
It's a lot better if you're a right-handed batter in that first base umpire.
Yep. So now man on base for Chillicothe. Again, they need to kind of get momentum back on their side. Mustangs have certainly grabbed the momentum. There's a called strike from Logan Jasek to Dalton Schumer, who hit the ball hard, was caught in the alley in left center by Orencio Fisher his last time up. He is 1 for 2 in the game, had a base hit back in the opening frame. He bats right-handed. Talented shortstop that plays at William Jewell. He fouls one away. So now it's a no ball and 2 strike count. Schumer singled and drove in a run his opening at bat. So 1 for 2 with an RBI on the season. He's hitting .277. And again, 1 for 2 tonight. So on the season, he is now 6 for 13 against Mustang pitching. So he's hit St. Joseph very well, and now this the 4th game against St. Joe. Jasek from the stretch now with Bandman at first base, and now he chased one but kept it alive. He foul tipped it back behind home plate. Count remains no balls and 2 strikes. Leadoff walk to Nick Bandman. Bandman kind of the same as what we've talked about with some of the other power hitters that strike out often, but he also has walked 20 times. So in this day and age where you see a lot of home run hitters strike out a lot, some of these guys with a lot of high walk numbers as well, which isn't real atypical of some of the powerful hitters that you see. Still a no ball and 2 strike count. Got him. Swing and a miss. That's a big strikeout for the walk to Bandman. Didn't want to get something going with a couple guys on, nobody out, but that's his 3rd strikeout in the game. Again, that was just the first walk, so good numbers in this contest from Logan Jasek so far.
And really, outside of that first inning, when he's needed to make that big pitch, it's been there. In first inning, a lot of hard line drives hit off of him, a lot of weak contact since.
Absolutely, everything was hit really hard since, and they've only had 1 hit since then. And again, he's had 3 perfect innings in a row, so that helps.
That helps, yeah.
The 1 hit was the 2-out base hit that got the 2-out rally going in the 2nd inning where they scored in the air. Another called strike to the batter now, Nick Galley. So a first pitch strike once again from Logan Jasek. Now a line of that one's hit hard down the left field line. Going to get down for extra bases. Chasing it is Cox. Bandman around second. They will hold him at third base as the throw comes to third. So they at least held him from scoring. But Galley gets his 2nd double in the game. And that's the first hit since the 2nd inning, but he's doubled right down that left field line a couple different times.
And that's one of those that could have turned into the 2nd triple of the game for Chillicothe, but Cox hustled over there and cut that off before it got to the wall. Good throw in.
Now Coach Johnson go out and talk, I believe, to the home plate umpire.
The catcher, Andrew.
He wants to talk to him for just a second. Don't know what this is about, but he's going to go talk to him about something. Checking to see if he's stepping out of the box or what. I'm not sure. We'll have to maybe catch up with Coach Johnson here in a second.
And that was raised to the umpire's attention earlier in the ball game, and they still did nothing about it then. But once again, from this vantage point, chalk line getting kind of bad at this point. We can't really tell.
So Coach Johnson again brings it to their attention. Now it's a matter of maybe if they do something about it. See if Logan Jasek can get out of this inning. It's a jam now with 2 on and 1 out. Golly's at second base. Bamman is at third with 1 down. And now a chopper foul back behind home plate. Gets ahead again. No balls and a strike. So Logan Jasek has been good, but Chillicothe trying to chip away now at the lead. That is now 17 of 24 first pitch strikes of the 24 batters that he's faced so far in the game. Jasek from the wind now with runners at second and third. Off-speed pitch grounded to third. Cassiola looks him back. Throws to first base in time. So he's 1 out away from getting out of the jam. Cassiola has been busy at third. Another very good play, and Bamman had to stay put at third base. He looked him back and made the strong throw.
Second and third, 1 out. Jasek with a big pitch to get that ground ball.
He's kept a lot of things on the ground. We mentioned it, and you mentioned it, all the hard-hit balls early in the game, but really Golly's is the only one that's been hard hit since that point in time. Everything's been on the ground.
And with this infield, keep that up.
You look at this, and I'm going to go back from let's go from the last batter of the second inning. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's a ground ball toward Cassiola. It's a back up. He knocks it down, makes a long throw, gets him in time. Davey Cassiola, a fantastic play. Keep your body in front of it, knock it down, throw him out. And another ground out here to end the 6th inning and get out of the jam. The Mustangs have a 4-run lead at the end of 6 complete. We'll finish our thought about that here in just a second. 8-4 St. Joe after 6 as we continue right here on 680 KFEQ and the Mustangs Radio Network.
First one that can show me
your family, your home, the Mustangs, and your car. Eastridge Car Washes can't help with the first 3. But boy, can they help with your car. Eastridge Car Washes are St. Joe's premier drive-through washes, offering wash options to fit any budget. Free vacs, hand dry, and the only washes in town to completely remove icky summer bugs. Show your car some love. Come to Eastridge Car Wash behind Firestone on Village Drive, next to the Highway Patrol on the North Belt. Proud to sponsor your St. Joe Mustangs.
Midwest Central Outdoor, your outdoor answers for any season. Right now, 0% interest for up to 48 months with qualifying credit on all Hustler, Wright, and Walker mowers. Yep, 0% interest for up to 48 months with qualified credit. Get to Midwest Central Outdoor and get the mower you've been dreaming about. Customer service is Midwest Central Outdoor's #1 priority. They have a highly skilled service center and stand behind all sales and service. Midwest Central Outdoor off Highway 71, just north of 129 and exit 53.
I'm jumping in with my clothes on.
Most party fouls are pretty dumb, but if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Learn more at ultimatepartyfoul.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Over 50? You can still register as an organ and tissue donor.
Call 1-866-99-DONATE. A message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Health Resources and Services Administration.
The pitch. You're listening to St. Joe's Summer College Baseball Team.
Swinging a line drive, base hit center field.
On 680 KFEQ.
Evan McDonald lead off the top of the 7th inning here in Chillicothe. He got it all going last inning. Here's a pop-up just behind second base, and Schumer, the shortstop, is going to run over there and grab it. First pitch swinging in was McDonald. Not quite the same result. He pops up in the infield for the first out here in the 7th inning, but the Mustangs at 9 to the plate in the 6th, got 5 runs, and then a great job by Logan Jasek. Gets out of a second and a third 1-out jam. Does not allow a run or any momentum back to Chillicothe. Mustangs lead 8-4 as we have 1 out here in the top of inning number 7. Now Jeremiah Figueroa at the plate. He walked his last time up. Looks at a first pitch fastball from Ryan Dowling. Dowling got the last 2 outs of the 6th inning, but he had not allowed a run all year long in 8 appearances. He allowed 3 runs in the top of the 6th inning out of the pen. There's a foul from Figueroa. Now it's a no ball and 2 strike count. Dowling looks a little more comfortable here starting the inning. He's out of the stretch. He's mainly been out of the pen. He was out of the pen at Washburn this past year. As he made 13 appearances, 12 innings, 3 ERA, no decisions for the Ichabods. They were pretty good this year, too. There's a chopper wide of third base, a foul ball. Keeps the count, no balls and 2 strikes to Jeremiah Figueroa. The Ichabod's finished tied with Missouri Western for third in the MIAA. Dowling shakes off a sign, gets the sign now from Tanis that he likes. Here's the pitch, curveball. He stays on it. It's right down the third base line. It's going to be a fair ball again for Figueroa. Digs for two, and he will put on the brakes again. That's his second one right down the third base line. And Jeremiah Figueroa now 2 for 3 in the game as he came in struggling, hitting just 170. Now he's got a couple of base hits.
You know, you go to so many different parks, you don't know how everything plays differently. But this has been great for the Mustangs. A lot of good hops right to them in the field, and you see them working the baselines here with that one.
Yeah.
Brady's bunt down the first base line at State Fair.
It's mainly been down the third base line, but you're right, Brady's right down the first base line. On right-handers in the lineup tonight for the Mustangs, but Jake Alou, one of the lefties. He's got 2 hits in the game. He did strike out his last time up. He was the first out in that 5-run 6th inning. Here's a soft toss to first base as Figgy goes back head first. Ryan Dowling to Jake Alou. He has not faced Dowling yet as he got struck out by Pablo Ortiz. Another throw to first base. It's low. Very close play, though, as it's dug nicely by Ross McWhorter, the first baseman. Mustangs up 8-4 here in the 7th inning. But, again, don't want to be Debbie Downer, but they've struggled to close some games out here lately, including against the Kansas City Monarchs. Now a quick throw, and boy, and he about got picked off again. Another good pick in the dirt by McWhorter.
Well, and the rate Logan Jasic's going to milk everything he can. We saw that from
Absolutely.
Michael Linden-Lorson over on Friday night. 8 solid innings, 82 pitches.
And then Kilgore goes 8 last night. Yeah. So the starters have gone 16 the last 2 games. Here's a fly ball, shallow left field. McPhail goes back. He now comes back in, and the left fielder makes the catch. 2 outs now as Figueroa retreats back to first base, and now he'll be back to Rencio Fisher. Oh, as a 3-hit game. 3 for 3 with a hit by pitch as well.
Center fielder, Rencio Fisher.
So Figueroa at first base with 2 down. Rencio with a single in the first, third, and 6th innings. Oh, drove in a run on the 6th with a base hit. He has scored 3 runs. Every time he has got a base hit, he has scored. When he got hit by a pitch, he was stranded. Rencio having a good game. He's starting to come out of a little slump. There goes Figueroa. Throw down to second base is on the third base side of first, so no chance to even tag him as Rook did make the catch. Tanis has a strong arm, and again, a good throw might have got him, but no chance to even apply the tag, so Figueroa gets the steal, and Figgy's now got 2 steals and 4 attempts, but that puts him in a scoring position.
He's doing a little bit of everything tonight, isn't he?
Yes. And he has made up for kind of misplaying the 1 ball and giving up the triple. Now a pitch high. Rencio got it all going against Dowling because he came in to face his former high school teammate, and he got the base hit to left field. It's a 1-1 count to the Mustangs center fielder tonight. For the first time now playing center field is Richardson having the night off, Risch the night off. Now stepping off the bag is Figueroa, getting the attention now of the pitcher Ryan Dowling, who's the second pitcher in the game. He's got an inning and a third of relief. Mustangs have 5 hits off of him, though, and 3 runs. The pitch from Dowling. Checks his swing. It's going to be a called strike anyway. So he's down 1-2. Rencio never really changes his demeanor, whether it's 1-2, 3-0, if he's having a bad game or a 3 for 3 game. He's kind of calm, cool, and collected all the time. That's why does what he does. He's pretty loosey-goosey. Here's the pitch. Outside, 2 balls, 2 strikes. We saw that at Missouri Western a lot. He'd have a game where he'd struggle, strike out 3 times, and then the next game he'd get on base almost every time, steal some bags. Now he had an 8 for 9 series one time against SBU. Everything was a single. There's a throw down to second base. Pitch was high, and Figueroa just about got gunned down. He did not slide going back in, so the throw was high from Tanis, and Rook applied the tag from second base, and boy, that thing was close.
You mentioned Tanis as a cannon.
He does.
He made that close.
He does have a gun, man. Pitch was high, so it's 3-2. I doubt they put Figgy in motion, but they could here. Don't need to now with him in scoring position. He doesn't. And now fouled away. Good job by O to stay alive. Late on the fastball, but stays alive, and it'll be another 3-2 count. They can get a Rencio like he was a year ago when he hit over 300 and get him on base even more than what he's getting on base for those guys in the middle of the order to knock him in.
Makes everybody better.
Absolutely. Another 3-2 pitch from Dowling. Checks second a couple times, now brings it home. Curveball got him. Might have been a fastball that got him, but he swung and missed anyway. And it will be a fairly quick inning for Dowling. He gets around the one-out base hit for Jeremiah Figueroa. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning. It's stretch time here in Chillicothe. 8-4, St. Joseph leads the Mudcats as we continue on 680 KFEQ and the Mustangs Radio Network.
Been driving that old pickup across all these 50 states, and I sure ain't seen saving like those energy rebates.
KCP&L, not good at country songs, great at saving you money. We have 18 ways to save you a little or a lot. Find the one that's right for you at kcpl.com/save.
Save money and energy with kcpl.com/save.
There are 2 universal truths that every ATV owner knows. ATVs are awesome. Middlemen are not. Scooters Power Sport services the brands you love. Polaris, Can-Am, Yamaha, Kawasaki, and Honda. And when you bring it in for service, no middleman. You'll talk directly to a mechanic who'll tell you what's wrong and the best way to fix it. They also carry new and used ATVs and side-by-sides and offer dealer financing at rates as low as 1.99%. Check them out online at scooterspowersports.com. Scooters Power Sports. Ride it like you can afford to fix it.
As a doctor, I see patients every day who are losing their vision to age-related macular degeneration, also known as AMD. If you have blurry vision or blind spots, they can be symptoms of AMD, and if untreated, could lead to blindness. The good news, AMD can be managed with effective clinically approved treatments that may reverse some vision loss. For free AMD information, contact the Foundation Fighting Blindness at 1-800-BLINDNESS. That's 1-800-BLINDNESS. There is a cure in sight.
You're listening to the St. Joseph Mustangs, a slice on 680 KFEQ.
We continue from Chillicothe, Missouri tonight. Mink League Baseball's Logan Jasek will get into his 7th inning of work. He's at 90 pitches through 6, which, again, isn't terrible. It's not too bad for him, but since the first and second innings, his highest pitch count has been 15. He had 47 through 2 innings. He's at 90 through 6. So Logan Jasek has been fantastic, worked out of a jam in the last inning, and he is back out there for the 7th inning as we're in the bottom half of the 7th. 8-4, St. Joseph will be 9-1-2 for Chillicothe. And today has already won tonight, so they will remain in first place, but the Mustangs can get a half game ahead of Chillicothe. And again, they've got the lead. They've got the tiebreaker on Sedalia. Pitch low from Logan Jasek from ball 1 to Cade Parker, who's 0 for 2 in the game. There's a ground out to Evan McDonald back in the 4th inning, and there's a ground ball left side of the infield, cut off by Cassiel again to his left. He makes the sidearm throw in time. Davy's been busy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ground balls to him, and he has not made a mistake tonight. He has been fantastic at the hot corner.
He has been great. You know what? When you're throwing strikes, it keeps your fielders that much more in it. And
Absolutely.
Davy's always locked in, but he's making some great plays tonight. He even got a little emotion at the Logan. He's pretty stoic usually on the mound after the last inning. Runners on second and third, got that last out. Gave a good fist pump. He's pretty fired up coming off. 9 ground ball outs from Jasek since the last out of the second inning. So he's keeping things down, nothing. And I think give Brady Anderson some credit too. Keeping it down in the zone, because that's where the strike zone is tonight. That's what the umpire is calling. So they're keeping it down, and things are being hit to the infielders. And now it's a no ball and 2 strike count here. Got a called strike, and then one foul back by Preston Pavlicka, who's 1 for 3 in the game. And things really have settled in as far as everybody knows the strike zone now. Not as much complaining in either side. This up and in. So 1 ball and 2 strike count. Grounded to Cassiel, imagine that in the 5th inning. He singled with 2 outs in the second, came in a score on the error by McDonald, and grounded out to Alou at second base to start the game. So again, 1 for 3. He was an all-star this year in the Mink League. He chops one right to the Mudcat dugout. Good play right there in the doorstep as he pulls it down the third base line. Looks like they've got Nick Banman warming up in the pen. He has not thrown for them this year, but that's the big power-hitting third baseman for them. There's a curveball that misses low and away. Good miss there. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count. Just 1 walk tonight for Logan. And Banman strictly in stature, just kind of resembles that. Think he would be good. He looks. He's tall. He's lean. Yep.
He does. Trent Hill is a good comparison. Fly ball hit to center field. Laurencio Fisher squats down to measure where that baby's going to be, and then he comes in a couple steps and makes the catch. First two retired here in the 7th inning. With Logan Jasek, he's at 97 pitches. Hopefully gets out of this inning with about 100. And do you bring him out for an 8th?
That's what you talk to the dugout, right?
Again, got to get out of the inning, but he has really done a good job.
I'm sure he's going to go in there and plead his case pretty hard.
Absolutely, yeah. You're right. Here's McPhail, who struck out his last time up. He's 1 for 3 in the game. 3 strikeouts in the game, 1 walk for Jasek. Fastball grounded down the third baseline. Backhanded by Casiola this time. Long throw. Gets him again. Davey Casiola. Wonderful plays at third base tonight. A 1-2-3 inning, 98 pitches through 7. And through 7, the St. Joseph Mustangs lead Chillicothe 8-4. We go to the 8th right here on 680 KFEQ and the Mustangs Radio Network.
Bogey, eagle, and birdie on the dance floor. Tee off at Duncan Hills Golf Course in Savannah, where you'll find 18 holes of magnificent greens. They offer more than just quality, affordable golf. Take advantage of tee times at a special price when you visit them online. Dust off those clubs, grab your family and a group of friends, and let the games begin. Make Duncan Hills Golf Course in Savannah your next golfing experience. Duncan Hills Golf, where a bad day at golf always beats a good day at work. DuncanHillsGC.com.
The redesigned Case IH Maxim Series tractors are now available at Dura Equipment in Savannah. These new tractors feature an improved cooling package and come equipped with fuel-efficient Tier 4 V-Final SCR-only technology. Other enhancements include a redesigned hood and roof, a longer wheelbase for improved turning radius, and 8 high-power LED lights. Optional continuously variable transmission technology is available on select models. For more information on Maxim Series tractors, visit Dura Equipment in Savannah.
This is the sound of salmonella gyrating on your undercooked chicken. And it looks like Mom might be taking it out a little early. Don't let salmonella get funky with your chicken. On average, 1 in 6 Americans will get a foodborne illness this year. So use a thermometer to cook each type of meat to the right temperature. Keep your family safe at foodsafety.gov. Brought to you by the USDA, HHS, and the Ad Council.
You're listening to St. Joseph Mustangs Baseball.
Down the line and go!
On 680 KFEQ.
We continue from Chillicothe as we're at Schaefer Park tonight. The St. Joseph Mustangs with an 8-4 lead right now on the Chillicothe Mudcats. Ryan Dowling out for his 3rd inning of work. He's worked an inning and 2/3 so far. He came in the 6th, worked the 7th, and now he pitches here in the 8th inning. Mustangs up 8-4 in the top of the 8th inning. It'll be 2, 3, and 4 for St. Joseph's Collegiate Summer Baseball team. Matt Tritt and I am Dave Riggert. It's a 1-ball count to Brady Anderson, who is 1 for 4 in the game. His single came his last at-bat, the bunt single that scored a run. There's a big swing and a foul back as he was right on that sucker, but he just missed it and fouled it back to the screen. Flew out to center in the first, reached on an error by the first baseman in the 3rd inning. Ran out to the second baseman, Rook, in the 4th, and then had that bunt single that drove in a run and then came in to score in that 5-run 6th. Batting left-handed is Anderson. There's an off-speed pitch, catches the inside corner, called strike number 2.
It's kind of a catcher that does it all for you.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy that puts down the bunt single but also can take a yard. I mean, it's impressive to watch him.
A couple of homers already this year. One at Sedalia to get a win. We talked about the stolen bases as well. There's something else that he can do.
Quick.
Here's the pitch by Dowling, and there's a floater into left center field. Gets down for a base hit just over the outstretched arms of Schumer, the shortstop. Went opposite field. Might have broke his bat. Kind of sounded like it might have cracked the bat that time, but the Mustangs, they don't care. They've got the runner on base, and Brady Anderson has his 2nd hit in the game. He continues. 361 average this year. He is now 5 for 12 against Chillicothe pitching this summer.
It's hard to keep him out of the lineup. Hard to keep him out of the top of the lineup each night.
Yeah, he's moved up, hitting number 2 these last couple games. Pretty good spot for him because he can do the things that you were just talking about. Davey Casiola's had a good game, 2 for 4. He's got a double, a single, tries to bunt it, and that's going to be bunted into foul territory. The catcher, Tanis, grabbed it, and he thought he was going to be able to grab it before it went into foul territory down that third base line, but it was foul, so Casiola will have another chance.
And you know that Tony La Russa rule about the 2-hole in the lineup, right? Got to be fast, got to have power, or both. And Tony La Russa didn't do anything wrong, so you know he's always going to be right.
I got you. All right. Okay.
He's got the rings.
He does have the rings. You're right. That's right, though. I would agree with that. And Anderson fits that.
Yeah.
There's a pitch outside for a 1-ball, 1-strike count. He didn't score a bunt that time, so we'll see if they try and get a guy in a scoring position with just 1 out. No outs right now with a man at first base. Leadoff single by Brady Anderson. Gasiola had a single and drove in a run in that 5-run 6th inning. Put at first base, and it gets away, and it won't get far enough away, though, for McWhorter, so Anderson stays put at first base. When McWhorter went to grab that, he kind of landed on Anderson awkwardly, and he kind of got up slowly. McWhorter gives him a little love tap on the behind and says, my bad. Gasiola batting left-handed. All lefty tonight against the right-handed pitchers from Chillicothe. The switch-hitting third baseman. He's been busy in the field. Fouls one to the left side. I'm trying to figure out, again, we haven't seen him a ton of right-handed because you don't see a ton of lefties. We've mainly seen him bat left-handed. Can't really tell which is the better side for him.
I don't know. We've talked to him before, and he's kind of depends on the day. Some day takes a few hacks left-handed and feels much better, and the other day feels like he's lost from the right side of the plate. It just kind of depends.
Doesn't really look different either way. Looks really good, pretty good in both ways. And he bats left-handed here. Looks at one inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And Gasiola, he is second on this team in a walk, so he's got a good eye. 24 walks this year, just 17 Ks. Despite the 235 average, on base at 368. Second most RBIs. He's driven in 2 in this game, 23 now on the season.
He's got that interesting stance, too.
Really wide.
He's stretching like the entire batter's box.
Kind of like, oh, he just got picked off. Now Anderson will try and run to second base. Anderson will fake now, try and run back to first. He's in a pickle, so to speak, and he tries to slide back into first and be tagged out by the pitcher. Second time a Mustang player has been picked off at first base. That can't happen.
No.
Once you can maybe see, not twice in a game.
And
it's a different pitch.
And it's a 4-run ball game at this point, and Jason's been great, but insurance runs could be huge. Because you don't know what's going to happen in the 8th and 9th. But
so Brady is picked out. That erases the leadoff single, so Gasiola still a 2-2 count. Bats with the bases empty and 1 down. Yeah, you just think of some of the games recently. They blew a 2-run lead against the Monarchs last week, or earlier. I guess we're on Sunday, so this previous Wednesday. No, that was Thursday. These days all run together.
Yeah, it's all the same.
But the 9-4 game against Nevada that was suspended, I mean, they were at a 5-run lead. So you're right, you can't ever have enough insurance runs. There's a ground ball right side of the infield. It might have been 2 anyway. Would have been a tough play, but Dalton Rook grabs it, throws out Gasiola. It's a 4-3 ground out. Now there are 2 outs here in the top of the 8th inning.
And at this point, what was it? 97 pitches for Logan? Mm-hmm. Looks like he's coming back out. The only action I've seen in the bullpen was a football being thrown earlier, so he looks like he's in the clear.
I think there is somebody just playing soft toss right now, but not warming up. So in case, probably. I mean, it looks like he's going to come back out and then in case. And there's a swing and a miss. Yeah, Logan's coming back over here. You coming back out? Let's ask him. You coming back out? All right, so there we go. We got it from the horse's mouth.
He did say early in the week he'd be mic'd up on the mound if you wanted him. So
ooh, we should do that.
Throw it out there.
That would be interesting. Have to have the delay on, I would imagine. Especially in the first inning tonight. Since that point in time, it'd probably be smooth sailing.
It's been good, yeah.
Ball in the dirt. It's a 1-ball, 1-strike count to Cal Urick, who had a bomb to left center field that was up against the wall, drove in 2 runs. But he had his first hit in the game, a double. He's also walked tonight. 1 for 3 officially with 2 RBI, now 32 runs. Batted in this season. Here's a liner to left field. Down the left field line. Could go for another double. Urick's going to round first base, and will he try it? Oh, he slipped, but he's going to try it anyway. He slides in, and he will be safe. A double for Cal Urick. Good hustle, and he is now 2 for 4 in the game. And for him, now on the year, he has his 10th and 11th doubles. The first man to get to double-figure doubles this season. He's now at second base.
He is heating up. He's getting runners on base ahead of him. Orencio's getting on. Brady's getting on. A lot of RBI opportunities coming up for him.
He's got 32. He really picked it up when Trent got drafted. It was fun to see. I think we were talking and some other people who's going to pick up the slack for Trent Hill? I mean, he was off to a great start again. We know what he can do. He was pretty much solidified in that 4-hole, but when he got drafted and left and is now playing pro ball, Cal Urick really stepped up. He had that big 3-home run week The capper on the 4th of July. There's a Bacon swing and miss, and now it's a 1-ball, 1-strike count.
Just to show how good the league is, though. Guy goes out, 3 home runs 1 week. Still not player of the week in the league. It's tough sledding.
Makes sense. Mustang dugout cheering, doing some stuff in there. It's a kind of an interesting mix here in Chillicothe because, again, the bullpen is right by the dugout, so all the bullpen guys are out there, so they can do all their antics out in the bullpen normally, and you can't see them, and they can be wild and crazy. Well, when they do that stuff here, it's with the rest of the team.
It'd be a bad mix, yeah.
Called strike. Here's a ground ball. Going to be off the glove of the pitcher. Tough play for Rook. He will throw it wide at first base, and coming around is Urick. He will try and score. The throw home is overthrown, and Kyle Urick will score, and Connor Bacon advances to second base. The Mustangs take a 9-4 lead on 2 errors on the same play on Chillicothe, and St. Joseph again now a 5-run lead here in the 8th inning.
Wow. When things are going for you, they're going right.
Boy, if it wouldn't have gone off the glove of Dowling, I think it's probably a fairly easy play for the second baseman, Rook. But when it went off his glove, it slowed it down, and he threw it wide at first base. A good throw would have got him, too. So that'll be an error on the second baseman, Rook.
It's big to see him hustling down the line, too. If he gets upset because he hits the chopper back to the pitcher, then probably throw him out.
And there's a foul back by Tyler Cox. He's due. He's 0 for 4 in the game. Again, it's been interesting on the scoreboard. They only gave 1 error on the play, but you have to give another error because Bacon went to second base. So, again, you have to do that. So 2 errors on the play, 1 by Rook and 1 by McWhorter, who was the first baseman. And now Bacon is going to be pinch ran for by Dade Wheeler. So the speedy Benton Cardinal graduate will come on to be at second base. He's done some good things when he's had some chances this past week against some of the non-league opponents. Is he whipping and nay-naying out there?
Yeah, that's why they keep cheering. Anytime you get to second, you have to do it. Apparently that includes pinch running.
That's right. They were talking about that. Matt Diaz was at Uncle D's the other day.
Oh, yeah. Bullpen guys. That's what happens.
They are crazy. Yeah. Pitch is low. 1 ball, 1 strike to count.
You got to love him in St. Joe. Probably maddening for other teams.
Well, I think they all do it, too. I think all bullpens are... All bullpen guys are strange. They've got to deal with all that.
You're wired different.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Tyler Cox, a big swing and a miss. You can tell he lost a little confidence tonight. When he popped out to right his last time up, you could just kind of tell he was frustrated, and he's 0 for 4. He's been the one guy tonight without a base hit, the only Mustang without a base hit tonight. 1 ball, 2 strike count. Let's see if he can get into one with a runner at second base. Another insurance run, possibly. Pitch is hot, go down to second base, and now Wheeler takes off for third, and he will slide in safely. Good job by Dade Wheeler as Tanis threw behind him. That's the risk you take if the runner reads it well. And Dade, a fantastic play. He's at third base now with 2 down.
And earlier we saw Figgy barely make it back in. You were just kind of wondering at some point if someone would take off. Force the extra throw.
Again, Tanis has a gun, but if he throws it behind, that gives you an opportunity. And Dade Wheeler read that one perfectly. Now can Cox come through in the dirt? Ooh, good stop by Tanis, or that's a run. That's what puts the pressure if you get a guy. And even if there is 2 outs, you still need a base hit, usually to score a run. But, again, a wild pitch can score a run. Jasek had one earlier in the game. We saw that. Branson had some trouble with that the last couple of games at home. 3-2 pitch to Tyler Cox. Almost hit him. He'll get on base. Maybe that can get him a little confidence. He's on base because he had a good AB. So he'll get to first base, and now the Mustang hitter with the best average will come to the plate. Chance for an insurance run at third base. Evan McDonald. He is 1 for 4 in the game with a single to lead off that 5-run sixth. He came in to score. He popped up to the shortstop his last time up, but a chance here to drive in a run. He's hitting .423 on the season. He bats right-handed. Ryan Dowling still out there. Fastball called strike 1. So Dowling now in relief has gone 2 1/3. He's allowed 4 runs. 3 have been earned. 7 hits off of him. He had been fantastic up to this point. No earned runs allowed. Now there's a fly ball hit to right. Can this thing get down? It will. It'll drive in Dade Wheeler. Cox to second base. Now the ball thrown and almost gets away from the infielders as Evan McDonald drives in the run, his first in the game. 16th RBI. Mustangs now lead at 10-4 as they have 9 unanswered runs in this game.
And with this offense, you see it stretches. It's had some difficulties getting going in the last week, but man, when they take off, they can pour it on.
They just keep the line moving, as the Royals like to say, but they've done that here tonight, for sure. Just like the Cardinals do, right? No, they have more bombs. Now a line drive right to Bamman at third base, and Figge, again, he's done it twice, right down the third base line for base hits. It is a line drive out right to Bamman, hit it well, but the Mustangs add 2 to their lead. It's now a 10-4 St. Joseph lead. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning as we continue here on 680 KFEQ and the Mustangs Radio Network.
Both of these teams belong to the Mink League.
Outdoors know your time is precious, and you'd rather be spending more of it in the woods or on the water. In addition to the retail store at the corner of Pickett and Leonard Road in St. Joseph, they now have a huge line of outdoor gear right at your fingertips. So shop online at www.jnboutdoors.com. It's packed full of firearms, shooting accessories, hunting gear, archery supplies, optics, apparel, and so much more. Most products can ship directly to your door. Visit the site, jnboutdoors.com.
Refrigerators? Nope. Dog food? Flour, seed, and mulch? Negatory. Potato chips and milk? Not even a chip in sight. At Brown Lumber, we sell real hardware supplies without all the fluff. If you need competitively priced power tools, lumber, and building supplies, now we have that. Just a simple, straightforward, locally owned hardware store for hardworking folks who simply want to get in, get their supplies, and get on with their day. Brown Lumber Company at 5th and Patey. Lumber? We have that.
When I grow up, I want to be a new pair of blue jeans. When I grow up, I want to be a kid's first computer. When I grow up, I don't want to be a piece of garbage. And if you recycle me, I won't be.
Give your garbage another life. Recycle. Learn how at iwanttoberecycled.org. Brought to you by Keep America Beautiful and the Ad Council.
Stand Up to Cancer is asking for your help. It takes all of us to beat cancer. Join the movement now at standuptocancer.org.
The pitch. You're listening to St. Joe's Summer College Baseball Team.
Swinging a line drive, base hit center field.
On 680 KFEQ.
Well, the Mustangs have scored 9 unanswered runs, and St. Joe's Collegiate Summer Baseball Team has 10 runs on 16 hits. And Chillicothe has 2 hits since the first inning. It's a 10-4 Mustang lead as Logan Jasek is out for his 8th inning of work. His first pitch that he threw was a ball. This one looks a little bit low and outside as well. It's a 2-ball and no strike count. He is now at 100 pitches here working in the 8th. Mustangs do have some guys throwing a football in the bullpen, but
any way to get loose.
We'll see what happens. Here is a called strike. So again, Jasek, only 1 walk tonight. Again, that is a very encouraging sign. If they can get him, you don't have to like this every single night, but similar to this every single night here down the stretch, that would be big.
To put him
2 walks, I beg your pardon, 2 walks.
To put him with the other starting pitchers that are really on a roll right now, we talked about Lyd Larson and Kilgore earlier. It can be nasty to put him in there if he's pitching like this.
Now a ball hit off the end of the bat that Jake Alou can't quite get to in the hole. He had a dive in the shallow grass in right field, and McWhorter gets on. So a leadoff single. He has some wiggle room with a 6-run lead, but again, if he gets into some trouble, I'm guessing they'll probably go to the pen. Although they're still just playing catch with a football, and one of them, Jonathan Zuptic. The other one is Clinton Rear, so never mind. This was his inning.
Yeah.
Guessing they're not going to go to either one of those guys.
But at this point, yeah, still strikes. A couple hits won't kill you.
And again, he's not a huge strikeout. He has 3 tonight, but he's let his defense work, especially at third base tonight.
Yeah. He might owe Davies a meal at some point.
Yeah. Might get him a burger after the game. No balls and a strike, 10-4 Mustang lead.
Perhaps Taco Bell.
Perhaps. Cheesy Gordita Crunch.
Can't beat it.
Whatever you like. Here's Bamman, who fouls one off the left side. It's a no ball and 2 strike count to the Mudcat third baseman. He walked his last time up, went straight at third base. Though, that was a big part in the game. And in the 6th inning, Mustangs just took an 8-4 lead. But Chile had runners at second and third, 1 out. No runs to get no momentum back on their side. Here's another foul ball.
And that's basically a 4-run swing. You go from holding them for 2, and then you get 2 back, enter 2 later. I mean, that's a lot different than 8-6, that's for sure.
Yep, no question. Look at 106 pitches. But again, he had 47 through the first 2. He had a couple of 8-pitch innings. Everything since the second has been 15 pitches or less. Now he's in danger of that one right now because there's nobody out and there's still, he's got 8 pitches already, but we'll see if they can turn 2 here. There's a swing and a miss. How about a strikeout? Strikes out Bayman, his 4th K. Still throwing well as the St. Joseph Mustangs get their first down here in the 8th inning. 10-4 Mustangs. Is this team trying to go 2-0 here in Chillicothe? And again, if they win this game, the worst they could finish is 3-3 against Chillicothe. Do you know what the tiebreaker is on that?
That's a good question. I believe our commissioner's here somewhere. Should ask.
Let's see if they can win Tuesday and take all that out of the equation.
You come back here where they played well, and you got them back home where they're rolling, obviously. So
good block by Brady Anderson behind the plate on the curve ball in the dirt. Tomorrow the Mustangs are on the road. They play at Joplin against the Outlaws. And Joplin's in the mix down south. They're trying to win the South Division or get in the top 2 at least.
And they've been kind of a thorn in the Mustangs' side at times this year.
They have. They're 3-2 against them, but again, they've lost a couple games to Joplin in the past. Here's a called strike. In the past, some of those South teams, Branson, Ozark, Joplin, have not been very good, but Joplin's pretty good this year. I would say Branson's the only team that really you need to beat every single time.
Yeah.
The Mustangs did this year. But the other South teams are all pretty good.
Yeah. 2 against Nevada is big this week.
Which they're 0-4 against them. There's a hard hit ball to center field. Lorenzo comes in to make the catch. Hard hit ball by Schumer. Man, he's been robbed a couple times by he's hit the ball really hard. He's 1 for 4 though in the game, and now there are 2 outs here in the 8th inning, and McWhorter is still at first base. That was a well-struck line drive, but Orencio read that extremely well. 110 pitches now for Jasek. Here's Nick Galley. He's been the bugaboo for Jasek. He's hit 2 doubles right down the left field line. One hopped the wall, the other one trickled to the wall, but he's hit 2 balls really hard. He's 2 for 3 with 2 doubles. This is a called strike inside corner.
The right fielder, Nick Golly.
Boy, this could be the 3rd straight start where the starter for the Mustangs goes 8 innings. You don't see that very often at any level of baseball. There's a called strike outside corner, working inside outs, and now he's got a chance to get the strikeout and end the 8th. 0-2 to Golly, who again is 2 for 3 with 2 doubles. Golly against the Mustangs this year had been 0 for 7 before tonight. There's a hard hit ball to center field, but Lorencio's right there. He'll make the catch, and Logan Jasek goes 8 as the Mustangs will go to the 9th inning with a 6-run lead. He ends with 113 pitches, and no inning after the second did he throw more than 15 pitches. What an outing for Logan Jasek. I think he'll probably be done after the 8th. We go to 9th. It's a 10-4 Mustang lead as we continue right here on 680 KFDQ and the Mustangs Radio Network.
Buchanan County Commissioner Dan Hausman has worked with many great county employees. He's also helped hundreds of people in the county. He's led the way in helping reduce costs and has held the line on county taxes. Hundreds of thousands of dollars have been saved through better purchasing and working smarter. Economic development has always been a top priority. He's helped create over 2,600 new jobs and brought in over $825 million in new investments in Buchanan County. Experience counts. Vote for Dan Hausman, Eastern District Commissioner.
I'm Dan Hausman. This message is paid for by the Citizens for Dan Hausman. Donnie Miller, Treasurer.
You take pride in your lawn. That's why you spend those extra hours making it look lush and pristine. You want to spend that time on your lawn, not on cleaning your mower. What if there was an easy button to clean and change your blades? Metzger Sales and Service now offers the new Raptor Flip-Up Mowers by Hustler with quick flip-up technology, effortless cleaning, automated deck height adjustment, and less storage space in a push of a button. Come check out the Raptor family today at Metzger Sales and Service in Graham. They will try to beat any deal on comparable equipment. Online at Metzger.com.
Young men just don't seem to listen to the radio anymore. They're too busy with their earpods and TV games.
It's iPods and video games?
Whatever. Point is, young men are probably not listening to me right now, but they will listen to you. So I need you to remind them to register with Selective Service when they turn 18. It's an easy way to keep the door open to important benefits, like college loans and government jobs. And it's the law. So please, feel free to remind them to go to sss.gov or any post office to register.
I heard that.
You're listening to the St. Joseph Mustangs, the Slice Ma on 680 KFEQ.
Continue with St. Joseph Mustangs baseball here in Chillicothe, Missouri tonight. St. Joe's Collegiate Summer Baseball team 3 outs away from a very big win here on the road against the Mudcats, who came into the day tied for first place with Sedalia, a half game back of St. Joseph. half game ahead of St. Joseph. Mustangs can move ahead of the Mudcats by a half game. It'd still be a half game back of Sedalia with lots of games this week. Still 9 left this last week of the regular season as the Mustangs end their season on Sunday at Clarinda. So they'll end 1 week from tonight, which is hard to believe. It seems like the summer just began, Mustang baseball just began, and we're 1 week away from knowing if they're in the postseason or not, as they're in just a heck of a race here down the stretch in the Mink Lake North. They've got a 10-4 lead in this one. It's a big one on the road, and so far so good. We'll go to the 9th inning as Jake Alou will lead things off 9-1-2 for the Mustangs. We mentioned Nick Bandman, the home run derby champion, playing third base, and he is on the mound to start the inning. So he will come on, and he has not thrown this year, so this is his first outing of the year. But again, you mentioned his size. He throws right-handed despite hitting left-handed. So a big right-hander on the mound for the Mustangs, or for the Mudcats. Jake Alou pulls one foul down the first baseline. He is 2 for 4 so far in the game. Alou came into the game hitting just .211 in a slump, but in this game he's got a couple of base hits. He did strike out once and fly out to left. Hammond's fastball. Well, he goes straight over the top, and he is. What do they list him at 6'5"? He's at least 6'5". Because when I interviewed him during the home run derby, he was taller than I was by quite a bit, and I'm 6'3". So he's at least, I would say, 6'5" is generous. He might be 6'6", but he comes straight over the top. So he's coming downhill at you. Fouled away again. It's a 1-ball and 2-strike count to Alou.
And you know what? You're that big. Use everything you got. So on that downhill plane.
Long levers. I'm guessing he's got pretty good velocity.
Whether he has anything other than a fastball, we'll see.
Yes. Is he a hard thrower or a pitcher? You know? Because if it's coming in mid-90s, but it's right up the middle every single time, another fastball, it's coming in there pretty good, too. Again, we have no radar gun, who knows, but it's coming in there pretty good. It's 2-ball, 2-strike count. But again, no matter if it's coming in there 95 or whatever it is, if it's straight down the middle, there's a called strike and a curveball. There you go. He throws the off-speed pitch.
Must have just caught the top of that zone.
Alou didn't like the call. Some of the Mustang fans, again, that was a little higher than some of the strikes have been called. But it's a called strike nonetheless. So strikeout for Bandman.
The center fielder.
Orencio Fisher's had a good night. He's played well in center field in his first start. And he is 3 for 4 at the plate with 3 singles. He has scored 3 runs tonight. Bo's starting to get on base a lot. He's starting to score a lot of runs. 3 for 4, 3 runs scored, an RBI, 1 strikeout. That was his last time up. He's also been hit by a pitch this evening. But back to my point before he threw the curveball, if he's throwing fastball, again, these guys can time that thing up.
Especially top of the order coming up here.
Here's Bandman's pitch. It is another fastball, but he swings through it. Might take a little time, though. You'd like to see him for maybe a couple innings to time that thing up because he's throwing a lot harder than what we've seen the other guys throw, so could take a minute or two to kind of adjust. Here's the Bandman 1-1 pitch. There's a curveball. It's going to be a call strike again, so he's showing us some of the off-speed stuff. Going strike 2 to Orencio Fisher as Brady Anderson is on deck, and then Davey Cassiol if anybody reaches. Mustangs have 16 hits. It's been a while since they've had 16. There's a swing and a miss. He struck out the first 2. Maybe he is like Trent Hill. So far he is.
What have they been holding on to him for?
That's right. He wins the home run derby. He comes on in relief, strikes out the first 2.
The catcher, Brady Anderson.
Well, there's a big game with Trent here a couple years ago.
That was one of the coolest moments that I've seen broadcasting a baseball game.
Bases loaded on out, strikes at the side. And
I think it was a 1-run game.
Yeah.
So they had bases loaded, nobody out. Mustangs were up 1. Was that in the 8th inning or not? I don't know if it was quite the 9th. I think it was the 8th.
I think it was the 8th. It was about this time of year, too.
It was. It was late in the season, a big game. And the bases were loaded with nobody out. And Trent Hill came on. Mustangs were up 1. And it was almost a must-win game, if I remember right. And he struck out the side, just bringing gas. That was
pretty fired up coming off after that.
Yeah, he was. He had a huge fist pump. I think I got fired up because of it, too. There's a pitch high. It's a 1-ball and 2-strike count. Now to Anderson, who's 2 for 5 in the game. Singleton was picked off at first base his last time up. But yeah, that was one of the coolest baseball moments that I've had a chance to broadcast. That was because he was just raring back, a big game, bases loaded, on the road, and a foul tip. Stays alive. I would like to see the radar gun that night because he was raring back and letting it go.
That's when you kind of look and say, yeah, he might make it.
Yeah,
someone might draft him.
absolutely. Boy, he had some great years with the Mustangs. 3 really good years. Unfortunately, wasn't able to keep him too far into this season because of the Major League Baseball draft. So he's able to live out a dream and play professional baseball now. I haven't checked to see how he's doing.
I believe he's been pitching pretty well. Low ERA, maybe around 1 or something like that. He's been sharp.
There's a curveball, misses low and inside. Brett Ash is having a great year, another former Mustang now at the professional level. We saw him blow people away with some great stuff out of the pen a couple years ago.
Catcher Tanner Lubach with the Burlington Bees.
Right.
He was splitting some time with another catcher there.
Here's the pitch by Bandman, a ground ball, right side of the infield, going to take a bad hop, go off the shoulder of McWhorter, and he will throw to first base, not in time. Brady Anderson is there, and again, that's off the shoulder, takes a bad hop. See if they give him an error or not. That's a tough error if it is one.
It's an error. They gave it to him.
And you almost have to, but it's not even his fault. They just took a bad hop in the lip of the dirt and grass and off of his shoulder. So Anderson reaches. Be the 4th time that he's reached. He's reached now on 2 errors in the game. Now that'll bring up Davey Cassiola. Again, 2 for 5, so he's had a good night, but that doesn't tell the whole story for Davey. He has been a busy, busy boy at the hot corner tonight at third base. They've hit him a lot of baseballs, and he has handled every single one really routinely.
Yeah, you got to love seeing playing well in the field. A couple hits tonight, too.
Is that stance, is that a left-handed Jeff Bagwell, how wide he was and almost stepped backward when he swung?
I was almost leaning more toward Jim Edmonds. Another lefty power hitter that was just like that.
Yeah, that's true. Does he have that same wide stance? I guess when I'm always up in the box, it's hard to tell how wide people are when they step, but I'm guessing it's probably the same right-handed, isn't it?
Yeah.
1 ball, 1 strike to count to Davies. 2 for 5 in the game. Runner at first base with 2 down here in the top of the 9th inning. Mustangs up 10-4. 9 unanswered for St. Joe's Collegiate Summer Baseball team. There's a pitch outside. 2-1. Bagwell has had that wide stance, and then he'd lift his leg up and it would like come back. He wouldn't stride forward. Which you know they don't teach kids that.
No.
And then he just hit bomb after bomb, but I might have had a little help. And there's one pulled way foul down the left field line.
Was that a steroid accusation? No. Are you saying he shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame?
I was a fan of Jeff Bagwell.
I like Jeff Bagwell.
He and Biggio and stuff, the killer bees for the Astros.
Bergman, they're great. Beltran.
They did have a lot of bees, didn't they?
They did. Man. Loading up on them.
I'm
going to have a nickname, use it, right?
Yeah, it's a good nickname, absolutely. I remember I was at one of Carlos Beltran's first games with the Astros after he got traded from the Royals. I was in Chicago visiting a buddy. He lives in Michigan, but I flew into Chicago, so we went to a game at Wrigley, my first and only ever game there. That was Beltran's first game where the Astros hit a bomb. It was pretty cool. And then Sammy Sosa had a walk-off in like the 11th or 12th.
Steroids, huh?
Speaking of, and now another walk as Cassiola gets on base.
That 98 home run race was clean, you know it.
Yeah. That was fun, though.
Yeah, it was. Brought baseball back. It struck in 94.
Everybody says it, and it's probably pretty accurate. So Bamman now having some control issues. Brady Anderson gets on base via the error on the first baseman McWhorter, but now a 7-pitch walk to Davey Cassiola. Good AB by Cassiola. And we mentioned his walk total is now at 25 this year.
And the guy you'd like to see time that fastball up at the plate.
Absolutely. Here's power against power right here. Kyle Urich digs in. 2 doubles in the game. He has 11 doubles now on the year to go with his 5 homers, so he has now his 16 extra base hits. Got under this one, hit it to left field, but did not square that thing up. It'll be a fly out to McPhail in left field, and we go to the bottom of the 9th inning. The Mustangs lead 2, but they have a 10-4 lead going to the bottom of the 9th as we continue right here on 680 KFEQ on the Mustangs Radio Network.
Herbie, I would like to speak with you about Gary Myers. Gary is a candidate for judge for Buchanan and Andrew counties. He is a person of great integrity with over 38 years of legal experience in both criminal and civil courtrooms. Gary has served our community tirelessly and is a family man who will be tough on crime. Please vote for Gary Myers for judge on August 2nd.
Thank you.
This commercial is paid for by the committee to elect Gary Myers judge, Bertha Parker treasurer.
As legendary Baltimore Orioles manager Earl Weaver once said, the key to winning baseball is pitching, fundamentals, and 3-run home runs. At Rockridge Steel, the key to winning is quality products, quick delivery, and exceptional customer service. Rockridge Steel offers steel from 1 inch to 1 truckload to contractors, farmers, and city folk too for home improvements. So when you need steel, see a winner. That's Dan Riley at Rockridge Steel in Elwood, Kansas. Rockridge Steel. Rock solid steel at rock bottom prices. Proud sponsor of the St. Joe Mustangs.
The pitch. You're listening to St. Joe's Summer College Baseball Team.
Swinging a line drive, base hit center field.
On 680 KFEQ.
Of inning number 9, the St. Joseph Mustangs 3 outs away from a big Mink League North Division win here on the road against the Chillicothe Mudcats, who came in tied for first place. They could drop to third if the Mustangs win tonight. And again, just 2 teams make the Mink League playoffs from each division. St. Joseph up 10-4, 9 unanswered runs after falling behind 4-1 in the second inning. And now Matt Diaz will come on in a non-save situation. He came into the game on Friday in the 3-0 game and got a save, as that was his second save of the year. But he's got really good numbers this year. He's appeared in 9 games, pitched 9 innings, 2 saves, no decisions, and a 2 ERA. He has struck out 12, walked 7. His whip, though, is at 0.89. He's allowed 1 base hit in 9 innings of work, and he'll get the 9th inning here tonight.
Not too shabby.
Again, you'd like to have the walks down, but only 1 hit in 9 innings. And he can bring it in. Again, we talked to him on Thursday at Uncle D's Sports Bar and Grill as he was on Mustangs Weekly, brought to you by Precision Tune Auto Care. And again, scouts are looking at him because he can run it up to 95. He thinks he could probably get even higher, but pretty cool story just talking about how he had Tommy John in high school, which is young to have that. Threw so much as a young kid, and he looks back and just doesn't know how his coaches let him throw as much as he did early. Had Tommy John in high school. It was kind of a depressing time for him. He got up to about 250 pounds. You look at him now, and he is...
It's a small frame. He's a lot of weight for it.
I was going to say, he's not even 200 right now, probably. Holy smokes, that was close, wasn't it? Right behind us. Diaz was a fastball. It's fouled back off the upper netting here. As Andrew Tanis will lead things off 0-for-2 in the game. Diaz, the Friday starter for New York Tech. There's a fastball popped in the air. It's out of play off to the right side. He does bring it, though. I mean, we talked about Danman, and it's more or the same at least. As again, they said that he's got to about 95 this summer. No balls and a strike. Gets the sign, brings it home. Curveball got him. Oh, it got away from Anderson. He's got to throw down to first base. He's got time. He guns it down there, and a perfect throw to Lewis Mealy, and a tough throw with a runner. And he had to come back behind home plate, but that'll be a strikeout as Matt Diaz gets the strikeout. And again, gets him with the curveball after he got 2 straight fastballs fouled away. There's 1 out here in the 9th inning, and the 10-4 Mustang lead. Again, scouts are pretty impressed with him. Again, he was the Friday starter for a New York Tech team that won 17 games. This past year, he went 3-4 with a 4.44 ERA. So for a team that wasn't great, he has pretty good numbers. Whew, this one just misses. Diaz, though, struck out 49 in 48 and 2/3 innings, so he struck out about 1 batter per inning. Here's the pitch. It is low.
He's bringing it, isn't he?
He is. And again, there is a scout in the stands. And one thing for him, too, and he even said this on the air on Thursday, that they're looking at me more as a relief guy because of how hard he could just rear back and let it go for the 1 inning. It's hard to, and this one misses, and Diaz kind of shakes his head in disbelief. And now he learns outside of strike zone that Jason's been dealing with tonight. But, again, scouts see him as a guy that's going to be a reliever. This one is a... Everybody was looking at the home plate umpire for both sides. Home and away were looking at the home plate umpire. And now you can hear Matt Johnson beside us, but he didn't know if he was going to call the strike or not, and he did not. Matt Diaz thought it was a strike. The guy at home plate, Cade Parker, Rook, who's at first base now with a walk, he stood there and waited to see.
He thought
it was a strike. So
he has had a delayed strike call too. So
yeah, there's a fastball, and that misses. So Diaz is Not happy with the strike zone.
Don't throw it there then, because he's not calling it.
Here's Johnson getting on the home plate umpire pretty good here in the ninth.
Let's go. Do your job. Do your job.
Another fastball misses. So 6 straight balls, and again, they haven't been too far off. Again, it's hard to tell if they're wide or not, but home plate umpire is kind of from both sides tonight.
Yes, he has.
Diaz's pitch, fastball. That one's high.
Yep.
So 7 straight balls from Diaz. But getting back to what scouts are telling him, because of his velocity, he's probably more of a relief guy because he can rear back for the 1 inning and bring it 95 over and over and over. It's hard to do that as a starter. Again, you see guys in the big do it, and heck, you see Syndergaard throw 100 more than anybody else in the majors, and he's a starter, but not too many guys can do that and keep that up for 6, 7, 8, 9 innings. So that's why they see him as a reliever, because he can pump it in there pretty good for just 1 inning. And he's a starter. He has been a starter, so he could go 2 or 3 if he needs to, but doesn't need to go 95 for 6 or 7.
Well, we saw Brett Ash this summer. He was a starter at Washburn, came in here to close, but then it's
almost the exact same thing. Yep. There's a couple called strikes, 3-2 now. Yeah, that's almost the exact same scenario because he was a starter. He wanted to start. Coach Johnson's just like, hey, let's show you off as our 9th inning guy. What you can do in the 9th inning with your velocity, with your off-speed stuff, and it certainly has worked out good for him. Fastball out, misses inside and high. Matt, that was a strike, so back-to-back walks. So now 2 on with 1 out. Diaz having to work a little bit now, throwing 13 pitches. And again, going back to the story we talked about, just he kind of ballooned up a little bit, but he was in a little bit of a depression, but got out of it. And again, he is slim, trim, and he is bringing it right now. So good to see him transform himself, as he was a pretty highly regarded guy. There's a high fly ball to center field, not hit tremendously deep. O's going to come make the catch, and that's the 2nd out in the inning. So Preston Pavlicka now finishes 1 for 5 again with that fly ball to center field. Mustangs 1 out away from a big win here on the road. It would improve their record to 8-7 on the road this year, all in Mink League play, which again on the road, it's not bad.
This is a crazy stat that you have compiled already. 1-4 on Sundays coming in today. 1-4 on Sundays.
That's a weird stat. And 3 of them against Nevada, a team they can't beat right now. So 3 of them have been in Nevada. So that's part of the reason they're 1-4. There's a swing and a miss by Ryan McPhail.
But it's crazy when you go from the high energy atmosphere.
No question.
Of Phil
I think
Welch,
that's a big part of it.
And then it drops off there.
Yep.
This one, you kind of brought its own energy because you knew how big of a game it was.
Absolutely. I think that's a great point. That's right on. Here's a high fastball. It's in there, and you can hear the mitt pop. But you're right. And normally it's at least Friday, Saturday, but normally it's a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or Wednesday through Saturday.
A lot of Wednesdays too. Yep.
With big crowds.
6-0 on Wednesdays. Let's make it 7-0 this week, or 8-0 against Nevada, I guess.
That's right. That's been a called strike all night long. Didn't get it. It's low. 2 balls and a strike. But yeah, you're right. Coming off the high, and you've got to create your own energy on the road. And again, Nevada at the most is getting 300, 400 fans. That's it. Not a lot of energy. And it's hard sometimes to go away from the high of playing in front of 3,000 or 4,000 people. There's a swing and a miss. 1 strike away. Matt Diaz trying to come on and get the final 3 outs. Has walked 2, has 1 strikeout and a flyout. McPhail 1 for 4 in the game. 1 base hit. Came back in the opening inning. They only have 3 hits since the opening frame. Diaz. Fastball. Blows it right by him. Strikeouts. Number 2 in the inning. The St. Joseph Mustangs score 9 unanswered runs on the road and defeat the Chillicothe Mudcats 10-4. As St. Joseph is now 30-12 this year and 21-11 in the Mink League. They're all alone in 2nd place in the Mink League North. We'll come back and wrap things up as we continue right here on 680 KFEQ and the Mustangs Radio Network.
Home, the Mustangs, and your car. Eastridge Car Washes can't help with the first 3. But boy, can they help with your car. Eastridge Car Washes are St. Joe's premier drive-through washes, offering wash options to fit any budget. Free vacs, hand dry, and the only washes in town to completely remove icky summer bugs. Show your car some love. Come to Eastridge Car Wash behind Firestone on Village Drive next to the Highway Patrol on the North Belt. Proud to sponsor your St. Joe Mustangs.
Have you ever dreamed of owning your own golf cart? Whether it's to get around your farm, visit your neighbor, or take to the campground, use it on the job, or for hitting the links. Go to Midwest Central Outdoor now for up to 24 months with no interest with qualifying credit. Dreaming of having a golf cart can become reality with an Easy Go golf cart. Midwest Central Outdoor is Northwest Missouri's authorized Easy Go golf cart dealership. Midwest Central Outdoor, right off 71 Highway, I-29, exit 53.
Our greatest legacy is not our accomplishments in life. It's what we can do to help the next generation. Rosa and I are privileged to be ambassadors for Shriners Hospitals for Children. These amazing children are an inspiration to everyone, and we're grateful to become a part of this remarkable legacy at Shriners Hospitals for Children. If you know a child that they can help, please call or go online right now.
You're listening to the St. Joseph Mustangs. Let's slice them on 680 KFEQ.
We continue with we're in Chillicothe tonight. I am Dave Rigger with Matt Tritton as the St. Joseph Mustangs score 9 unanswered runs. They get a win here on the road in Chillicothe as they are now all on in second place in the Mink League North, a half game back of Sedalia, but a half game ahead now of Chillicothe. They've won 3 of 4 now against the Mudcats, and our final score tonight, 10-4. St. Joseph defeats the Chillicothe Mudcats, and it's a big win for you, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's a great way to start the week. You know, after you come off 2 wins against Branson, we got 3 games on the road. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better momentum builder going into Monday.
You jumped out to a good start with a run in the first inning. Then they get 3 back and 1 more, an unearned run in the second inning. Logan was getting hit pretty hard in the opening frame, but all of a sudden you guys started to kind of pick things up a little bit. He got in a rhythm, then your offense got in a rhythm. It was fun to see that.
It was. I mean, he did a really nice job on the mound going to his off-speed stuff. I mean, he threw a lot of ton of change-ups, ton of curveballs. It really kept them off balance. I mean, they were sitting fastball the entire time. That's what they were hitting in the first couple innings, and it was a nice adjustment by Blake Hardigree and him to kind of get things dialed down, and it was great credit to Logan to throwing the ball down in the zone with his off-speed stuff.
I was going to say that the zone tonight was pretty low, so again, Brady did a good job of keeping it low. Tons of ground balls tonight, and we mentioned this, you just talked about it. He showed confidence in all of his pitches tonight, and that's not always the case with him.
No, last year he had that towards the end of the season. He had a little bit built more confidence. Beginning of this year, he didn't have that. He was relying a lot on his fastball, leaving the ball up a ton. And it was really nice to see him working knees and controlling the ball, and just it was pitching. It wasn't just stuff he was throwing. He's actually, I think, developed now into that pitcher that I think he can be.
You had 7 guys with 2 or more hits tonight with multi-hit games. 8 of your 9 starters have hits in the game tonight. You had 7 guys get RBIs tonight. A collective effort, and guys like Jake Allou's been struggling. Connor Bacon's been struggling. Jeremiah Figueroa's been struggling. Not tonight. They all came through for you. Everybody played a part in this game.
They did, and they had a lot of quality at-bats. I mean, we talked about that earlier, that we were getting a tendency to being overly aggressive. Their pitcher, I think, had 80-some pitches through 4 innings, and that's when we're doing really well. We're probably averaging anywhere from 15 to 20 pitches by the starter each inning that we have him in, and the more that we get that elevated, the more he's going to leave his ball up, the more opportunities we're going to have to drive, and then boom, we can get into their bullpen, which I think we can capitalize on a lot of teams in the league.
Davey Casiola was freaking fantastic at third base tonight.
Yeah, he's got a magnet in that glove. I
mean, he is really good.
He reads hops well. He moves really well. He does a phenomenal job of positioning himself and getting in the right spots and reading swings. We've had play third base over there.
Your defense made a lot of good plays for him tonight. He kept things on the ground. Evan made the 1 error, but Rancio ran some stuff down in center field, getting the start there tonight. I mentioned Davey, but a good job all around tonight. Were you nervous after it was a 4-1 game?
No, it's so early in the ball game that everybody's still kind of feeling each other out. The emotions are still there. You could feel it in the crowd, the emotions and the tension and everything that's going on there. Whenever we come into town, it's a really good rivalry. No, I wasn't concerned at all. It's just a matter of when we get going, if it's going to be early enough, to where we can recover from 3 runs. But we just kept chipping away, kept being patient. We got some big swings. Kyle hit that ball in the gap that, just absolutely crushed it. Dave Wheeler came in late there, gave us a back. They tried to back pick and we took third. So it was a really good collective effort tonight.
Yeah, fun win tonight again against a team that you guys don't love each other. The crowd certainly doesn't love you guys, and there's always some tension here in this ballpark. For some reason.
Always. I'll take it. It's something I think we thrive in. I think we play well in. When there's that type of energy and that type of atmosphere. We talked about it when we came in after the first inning. boom, we're up, we're having a good time, and all of a sudden they came back, and you could hear it in the top of the second. We weren't saying anything, and I said, well, you can't just pick and choose when you're in the ball game. You have to be in it 1 through 9, and our bench was phenomenal tonight in terms of them going after it and being into the ball game and giving us a ton of energy to feed off of.
Now back on the road tomorrow night at Joplin, then you come back here to Chillicothe. So you're right, this does start, keep momentum with the 2 wins at home. This is a big 3-game stretch, and then it continues a big week ahead as you still have 9 games left to close out the regular season. Congratulations.
Thanks, Dave.
Matt Johnson runs with the St. Joseph Mustangs as they win it tonight. We'll get one last break in and come back and wrap it up as we continue from Chillicothe. Mustangs win at 10-4 here on 680 KFEQ, and the Mustangs are Radio Network.
Driving that old pickup across all these 50 states, and the sure ain't seen saving like those energy rebates.
KCP&L, not good at country songs, great at saving you money. We have 18 ways to save you a little or a lot. Find the one that's right for you at kcpl.com/save.
Save money and energy with kcpl.com/save.
There are 2 universal truths that every ATV owner knows. ATVs are awesome. Middlemen are not. Scooters Power Sports services the brands you love. Polaris, Can-Am, Yamaha, Kawasaki, and Honda. And when you bring it in for service, no middleman. You'll talk directly to a mechanic who'll tell you what's wrong and the best way to fix it. They also carry new and used ATVs and side-by-sides and offer dealer financing at rates as low as 1.99%. Check them out online at scooterspowersports.com. Scooters Power Sports. Ride it like you can afford to fix it.
This is John Stossel. Anything that makes it harder for you to speak limits your life. So if stuttering affects you or your child or someone you know, you can call the Stuttering Foundation for help. The number is 800-992-9392. That's toll-free, 800-992-9392. Or you can visit their website, www.stutteringhelp.org. They can refer you to expert help in your state.
You're listening to St. Joseph Mustangs Baseball.
Down the line to go!
On 680 KFEQ.
I'm here in Chillicothe. The Mustangs defeat the Mudcats by a final score of 10-4. St. Joseph, heck of a job tonight as they get 9 unanswered runs, fell behind early in the game, 4-1 deficit after 2, chipped away, got 2 in the third to make it a 4-3 game, then exploded with a 5-run 6th inning they turned around a 4-3 deficit to an 8-4 lead. They attack on 2 more in the 8th inning, get 10 runs, 16 hits. There was 1 error in the game. Chillicothe, 4 runs, 7 hits, only 3 after the first, and they commit 4 errors in the game tonight. I mentioned 7 guys with multi-hit games. Orencio Fisher goes 3 for 5, 3 runs scored, 1 RBI. Brady Anderson 2 for 6 with a run on an RBI. Davey Cassiola 2 for 5 with a run on an RBI. Weir 2 for 5 with 2 RBI, and both were doubles. He also had a run in the game. Bacon goes 1 for 4 with the 2 RBI in the game. Tyler Cox does go 0 for 4, the only Mustang not to get a hit of the 9 that started. Evan McDonald 2 for 5 with a run and an RBI. Jeremiah Figueroa 2 for 4 with a run scored. Jake Alou 2 for 5 with a run scored. And Dade Wheeler was a pinch runner. He scored a run there in the 8th inning. On the mound, Logan Jasek picks up his 3rd win of the summer. He goes 8 complete innings, the 3rd consecutive starter for the Mustangs to go 8. Gives up 7 hits, 4 runs, 3 were earned. He struck out 4, walked just 2. Then Matt Diaz worked the 9th. He did strike out 2, walked 2 as well, but he got the last 3 outs of the game and did not allow a run, as again Chillicothe did not score after the 2nd inning of play. That'll wrap things up from Chillicothe. The Mustangs on the road tomorrow at Joplin, at Chillicothe on Tuesday, and then Wednesday back at home for kind of a doubleheader. They will complete the suspended game at the start of the 10th inning, tied at 9 with Nevada, and then play the regular game after that at Phil Weld Stadium, then back on the road Thursday for a doubleheader at Ozark. So a busy week for St. Joe's Collegiate Summer Baseball team. That'll wrap things up from Chillicothe. Mustangs win at 10-4. For Matt Trittmeyer and Dave Riggers, so long, everybody.